From beautiful Sinsheimer Stadium in San Luis Obispo, California, we welcome you to this broadcast of Conejo Oaks Baseball. Alongside Sammy Fawn, my name is Calvin Kaplan. Great to be here for the Oaks' second to last game of the 2026 CCL regular season. And Sammy, today is a big one for the standings. If the Oaks get the win today and the Orange County Riptide take a loss, the Oaks could jump back into first place in the CCL South.
Yeah, this is a game with hugely significant implications, and for the Oaks, it's going to be really important for them to win both of their final two games throughout the season, because really, when you look at the bigger picture in the South, all the Riptide have to do is finish the season 2-1, and they'll secure the top seed and get the bye into the playoffs, and they'll be able to host the 2 seed. And for the Blues, they're in a similar position too. They're in second place behind the Crawdads, and it's going to be very important for them to win as many games as they can too. They have 3 games remaining in the season, including tonight, and the Barons coming into today with a lot of momentum after their 10-3 win against the Oaks yesterday. So a very exciting game to watch and a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, today's game will decide the season series after the Blues got that 10-3 victory on the road against the Oaks in Ventura yesterday. We'll take you into the starting lineup, starting with the batting order for the Conejo Oaks. Right fielder Brandon Contreras leads off. He's followed by the shortstop Zach Nagy and the DH James Latshaw. Left fielder Caden Stillwell bats cleanup. He's followed by the third baseman Matthew Whitco, first baseman Danny Aguilera, catcher Aiden Voiles, center fielder Tyler Antwine, and the second baseman Zach Mora batting ninth. In the field for slow, Dom Nahar, Cesar Chavez, and Kyle Becker from left to right in the outfield. Brendan Comerford, Diego Murillo, Diego Gonzalez, and CJ Moran from left to right in the infield. Sean Rivas is behind the plate, and on the mound for slow, one of their best pitchers this season, Moose Cuellar.
Yeah, Moose Cuellar is 2-0 on the season. He's making his 6th start of the 2026 CCL campaign. He was last seen for the San Luis Obispo Blues on July 17th on the road at Menlo Park against the Legends. It was a game in which the Blues had a tremendous comeback late in the game and won that game 8-7.
He'll be fun to watch today against Brandon Contreras first. Sinsheimer Stadium is just about packed for this matchup. 76 degrees and sunny in San Luis Obispo, and the first pitch is just outside on a slider from the left-hander Cuellar at 6:04 p.m. local time.
Contreras had a tremendous day at the plate yesterday. Even though the Oaks lost, he went 3 for 5 at the plate with a couple of singles and a triple and an RBI.
1-0 is a fastball just outside. Contreras has been the top hitter for average for the Oaks, batting .426 entering today, third best among qualified CCL hitters. Cuellar, of course, coming off that great 5-inning outing against the Menlo Park Legends. He swings, Contreras puts one into left field. Moderate depth, Nahar runs toward the line and makes the play for the first out.
Pretty simple play there for Dom Nahar, who did not have a hit in yesterday's game, but did reach base a couple times, including an error early in the game. And that was the story, really, for the Oaks. They were hurt immensely by their defense overall.
Yeah, 5 errors in that game. The Blues didn't have any, and now Zach Nagy is up at the plate. First pitch to Nagy is a fastball roped into shallow center. This one falls for a base hit right in front of Cesar Chavez. The first hit of the day for the Oaks.
Fine piece of hitting by Zach Mora. That ball looked like it was on the outer half of the plate, and he just got the bat out, got enough of that to float it in a difficult spot for the Blues to track.
So Nagy stands over at first, and now James Latshaw is up as the designated hitter. And for Cuellar, his last 3 starts have been particularly excellent. 14 1/3 innings, and he's allowed just 3 earned runs. First pitch. Swung on and hacked foul down the right side into the trees from Latshaw.
Latshaw has 1 home run this season. It came against the Arroyo Seco Saints last Sunday on the 19th. It was a crushing shot to left center, and we've seen him pitch quite well this season as well.
Next pitch from Cuellar. Check swing and peel to first. They'll say no swing on a fastball that was just above the belt. Yeah, you said it. Latshaw has been huge as a two-way player for the Oaks, coming off a 2-inning day, allowing no runs against the Barons a couple of days ago. The last time he batted was against the Bombers on July 21st. He went 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 1-1 on the way. Swung on and popped up right side, foul, headed into the seats. And it falls out of play just beyond the orange chairs.
We got word just before the game that the Blues have foul ball sponsors, so fans will actually get to keep the foul balls if they get them. That's not the case at Ventura Park or at Ventura College. That would certainly be nice.
Safe to say the Blues have the best fan environment in the league. North of 1,000 attended last home game as Latshaw fouls one off into the screen. It's still 1-2 as that one went to the right side.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a great ballpark experience here with the grass concourse and the beautiful orange seats, and in the midst of a beautiful park as well.
1-2 coming to Latshaw, who's 6 for 32 on the year with 5 RBIs. Cuellar looks at first. Nagy goes the pitch. Fastball gets away. It was inside. Nagy's to second easily in scoring position for Conejo.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have recovered a couple of walking canes.
Yeah, well, Nagy got a great head start there. And apologies if I said more earlier, but he's in scoring position. That removes the ground ball double play scenario.
Easy to mix up the two Zacks. Both play in the middle infield. Only Nagy in the lineup today. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out. Pitch to Latshaw. Swung on and tipped into the screen. James Latshaw continues to foul off pitches in this at-bat.
Yeah, and this is great, a good sign for the Oaks to do this early on against the Blues. As we've talked about throughout the season, the Oaks have not had the most success on the road, and especially last year at Sinsheimer, it was a pretty hard downfall for them, but it's going to be important for them to get off to a great start. And a runner in scoring position, it's a good way to get going.
The Oaks are 2-8-1 on the road this year compared to 18-5 at home. 2-2. Off speed gets away above the mid of the catcher, Rivas, and Nagy takes third on a wild pitch. They did give him a stolen base on the advancement to second, but now he's 90 feet from home.
Makes Latshaw's job both easier and harder just mentally, in the sense that you got to get either a deep enough fly ball, or if you're going to hit a ground ball, it has to be well enough placed and preferably just go through. Line drive, there's a 50-50 chance of it being caught or being a base hit.
3-2 count with 1 out. That was Cuellar's just 4th wild pitch all season, and he's thrown 28 1/3 innings entering today. Usually been very accurate. 3-2 to Latshaw. Swinging a high fly ball deep into left. Nahar has to chase. It's deep enough for a sac fly. He makes the catch. Nagy runs for home, and the throw comes into second. The Oaks lead 1-0 in the top of the first.
Well, that's just excellent textbook offense and hitting from both Nagy as well as base running, and Latshaw able to get that ball deep enough out there. Nahar is able to make the catch, and Nagy's able to come home. This is pretty much exactly the start the Oaks needed to get off to.
Absolutely. Losing 10-3 yesterday certainly hurt the Oaks. They didn't score until the 5th inning, now have the opening run here. First pitch to Stillwell is just inside on a fastball for a ball. And Caden Stillwell has been one of the best hitters for the Oaks this season, 2nd on the team in average, batting .361. Next pitch. Swung on and hacked into right. It's on the fly. Becker runs in on it, and it falls in front of him. Gonzalez, the second baseman, also ran after it, but that's a base hit for Caden Stillwell. 2 hits in the first for the Oaks.
Oaks are hitting the ball into no man's land in the first inning. You saw Zach Nagy's base hit to center that just landed right in between second and center, and right there, both Gonzalez, I think, was running harder after it than Becker was, and it just fell right in between the two of them.
Caden Stillwell has been huge for the Oaks this season, and now Matthew Whitko steps up. First pitch to Whitko. It's a fastball strike on the outside corner, and Whitko has gotten 3 multi-hit days in a row. Had a double yesterday and an RBI against the Blues.
Yeah, his double really gave the Oaks their 2nd run back in the 8th inning.
0-1 count. Cuellar delivers. Swinging a drive left side, way foul over the fence. So an 0-2 count on Whitko, who was late on that pitch, but still got good contact.
He's been a good 2-strike hitter as well throughout the season, and we saw him Built a grand slam to dead center field in Pasadena.
Stillwell on first, the 0-2. Taken on a slider just low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Whitco, who steps back into the box. The Blues fans getting into it, hoping to see a quick end to the top of the first. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cuellar looks at first and fires. Slider inside this time. 2-2 on Whitco, and the Oaks will be content to run up Cuellar's pitch count given how he's been able to go deep into games in his starts. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Stillwell with a medium-sized lead at first. Here's the pitch. Fastball just outside. Very, very close to a called strike 3, but it's 3-2.
That's a good take by Whitco. And he's got a battle here, and Stillwell is going to be taking off on this pitch.
Outfield at moderate depth. The center fielder Chavez is a couple of steps to the left of second. 3-2, swung on and chopped over to the first base side. Picked up on a couple of hops by Moran, who steps on the bag, but it's ruled foul. Pardon me, it's not. It is ruled just fair. Whitco is out, although there is confusion about this. Whitco thought it was ruled foul.
Oh, interesting.
So that's what the pause is for. I mean, initially it looked like maybe the signal was foul, and yes, indeed, Whitco's going to head back to the plate.
Oh, so hold everything. Yeah, Moran certainly seemed confident enough to pick it up and step on the bag, and I did not see an immediate foul call.
Yeah, it was interesting because Moran was going slowly as if it was foul, maybe, but also stepping on the bag just in case, and then some confusion, but Whitco goes back to the box for 3-2. Here's the pitch. Swinging a chopper up the middle. Cuellar plays it to his left. He throws to first and gets Whitco by a step. So the Oaks score 1 in the top of the first, but leave 1 on the base paths. We'll take you to the bottom of the first after this. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Stay tuned. Bottom of the first here at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Oaks lead 1-0 over the Blues. They got a run off a sacrifice fly in the top of the first, coming off the bat of James Latshaw. Now it's time to take you into the Blues starting lineup in the batting order. Center fielder Cesar Chavez leads off. He's followed by the first baseman C.J. Moran. Third baseman Brendan Comerford hits third, followed by the designated hitter Ethan Johnson hitting cleanup. He's backed up by the shortstop Diego Murillo, right fielder Kyle Becker, catcher Sean Rivas, second baseman Diego Gonzalez, and the left fielder Dom Nahar batting ninth. For the Oaks in the field, Caden Stillwell, Tyler Antwine, and Brandon Contreras range from left to right in the outfield. Matthew Whitco, Zach Nagy, Zach Mora, and Danny Aguilera from left to right in the infield. Aiden Voiles is behind the plate, and on the mound, Jaden Kolkowski.
Kolkowski is yet to pick up a win for himself this season, but he had by far his best performance of the season last Saturday against the MLB Academy Barons in Compton, a game in which he threw 4 innings of shutout ball, shut the Barons out through the first 4 innings, and then exited the game after that. And because you have to remember, the Barons scored 6 runs in the 7th inning, by which time Kolkowski had long been out of the game. So he looks to carry on that momentum here.
He gets Cesar Chavez, and the first pitch is a fastball low and in for ball 1. Kolkowski was great against the Barons. 4 innings, no hits, no runs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts back on the 18th. He's got an 8.85 ERA this season, but has faced tough teams consistently. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and popped up right side on the infield. Played by the second baseman, Mora. He waits for a long time and makes the play. So Mora gets involved at second base, and that's the first out.
Got the 2 Zacks on the middle of the infield with Nagy at short and Mora at second. Certainly not the first time we've seen that this season.
Absolutely. A pretty common combination. We've seen them play at the opposite positions as well, but both in the middle infield at their usual spots, at least for Nagy. Mora has played some second base as well. CJ Moran steps in. Moran is batting pretty well this season, 267 on the year. Nobody on, 1 out. And a righty-lefty matchup. The pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt taken by Moran for ball 1.
Well, CJ Moran yesterday picked up an RBI ground out in the 8th inning for the Blues.
The 1-0 swung on and popped up left side. Tracked down by Stillwell, who runs to his right toward the foul line, and he makes the running play to get Moran for the second out.
Well tracked by Caden Stillwell out there in left field. He was able to adjust pretty quickly as his spot was not perfect in the beginning, but he was able to follow it the whole way and outfight the sun.
Good start for the Oaks, and Brendan Comerford now comes up. We saw Comerford yesterday against the Oaks, and he went 1 for 5 with a double. Two-way player for the Blues. First pitch to the righty is taken low in the dirt for ball 1.
Brendan Comerford had a good day at the plate yesterday. He doubled in the 3rd against the Oaks.
1 ball and no strikes with 2 outs. The pitch swung on and popped up foul right side. Headed past the beer tent and out of play.
Thanking Rick Engineering for sponsoring our free foul balls.
It's got to be north of 1,000 here again today at Sinsheimer Stadium. So many fans on the greenery as well here on Friday night. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Kolkowski delivers the changeup, and Comerford gets ahead of it for strike 2.
Well, we talked about Kolkowski's pitch selections before the game, and you know, he's known as a fastball pitcher, but every now and then he'll throw batters off with that changeup.
Great pitch to get to 1-2. 2 outs and nobody on. Wind blowing to left field here at Sinsheimer. The pitch. Low and away on a slider. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And yeah, talking about the fan base here, you go to these games during the summer and you realize that if you go to multiples of these ballparks, no 2 ballparks are alike and no 2 fan bases are alike.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Fastball low and away. It's ball 3. The count is 3-2. Comerford steps in. Ethan Johnson, the designated hitter, is on deck, and boy, did he have a great day against the Oaks yesterday, reaching base 5 times with 4 singles. 3-2. Fastball just outside for ball 4. Comerford gets a walk to be the Blues' first base runner.
A good at bat by Comerford as he's able to make Kolkowski work a bit after he threw 4 pitches combined to the first 2 batters. And now he's got to deal with the dangerous Ethan Johnson. And you said it, he went 4 for 4 at the plate with a walk. He was perfect at the plate.
Johnson's been a recent addition to the Blues. This is his 3rd home game and his 5th game overall, batting .429 on the season. First pitch. Right down the middle, runner goes, throw to second, skips past Nagy, but cut off by Mora in the outfield. A stolen base for Brendan Comerford, and that is his 14th on the season.
Well, despite the late break by Comerford, he's able to swipe second as the throw down to second by Voiles into the grass and skip past Nagy. Fortunately, Mora was able to cut it off and keep Comerford at second, but now the Blues have a runner in scoring position, and they could easily tie the game or even take the lead here.
0-1. Fastball upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. Johnson's got 1 RBI that he had back on July 12th against the Academy Barons. He redshirted at Missouri last year. Runner on second, Comerford. Here's the 1-1. Check swing. It dives low and in, and it's no swing, saying the umpire positioned near shortstop. On a slider, it's 2-1.
Johnson not making it an easy finish for Kolkowski. He's got to work his way to that third out.
Yeah, you mentioned the quick start against Chavez and Moran. Not so since then. 2-1. Swing and a drive into left. Played on a dime by Stillwell for the third out of the inning. So Johnson flies out, and the Blues strand one. No hits, one walk. After one, the Oaks lead 1-0. A good start for Conejo on the road in what is close to a must-win game if they want to get first place in the South. Back after this. Top of the second in sunny San Luis Obispo. The Oaks have a 1-0 lead over the San Luis Obispo Blues thanks to a sacrifice fly from James Latshaw in the top of the first. Great to have you with us on this Friday evening, a packed house at Sinsheimer Stadium. Alongside Sammy Fawn, I am Calvin Kaplan. 76 degrees, slight wind, and basically pure blue skies as Danny Aguilera steps up to face Moose Cuellar.
Aguilera getting the start at first base for the Oaks. We saw him at shortstop in the game the other day.
He steps in as Cuellar looks in and sets. Kick in the first pitch. Fastball up and away for ball one. Aguilera appeared yesterday against the Blues. Got out in his only appearance. It was a pinch hit appearance in the ninth. He went 1 for 4 the day before that against the Barons. The 1-0. Fastball down the middle for a strike. Cuellar, a CCL All-Star this season. He's got a nice 3-pitch mix, fastball, slider change. Pitched to a 6.44 ERA at Fresno State this past season. The 1-1. Fastball inside. It backs up Aguilera. And the count is 2-1. Aguilera is back in. Outfield is just about straight away. Chavez slightly to the left of second. Pitch is swung on and grounded to third. Picked up on 2 hops by Comerford, who throws to first. Moran makes the play. 1 down in the second.
Quick routine first out by the slow Blues. You saw the Oaks bring 5 batters to the plate, and this inning they're just going to want to keep building that momentum and even possibly do one up from last inning.
Aiden Voiles will try to do so. Voiles so far this season batting .286. Pitch to the righty is a fastball inside for ball one. Voiles is on a 6-game hitting streak. Last saw action against the Barons on July 22nd and went 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Cuellar, the lefty, looks in. Here's the 1-0. Swinging a chopper, rolls slowly to short. Murillo plays it, throws on a sidearm play to first for the second out.
Cuellar able to induce a couple of ground balls here. Certainly a tough pitcher for the Oaks to face with a 2.86 ERA. He's ranked third in the CCL for strikeouts in the season with 37.
Hasn't had one yet today, but it's coming sooner or later. Tyler Antwine stands in. First pitch to the center fielder. It's a fastball down the middle for a strike. Antwine was 0 for 2 with 2 walks yesterday against the Blues. Prior to that, he had hits in consecutive games against the Barons and the Bombers, and this season he's batting .179. Kicking the 0-1. Swinging a slow ground ball played by the third baseman Comerford. He throws quickly. It pulls his first baseman Moran off the bag, but the runner is still out. Moran stuck there just long enough. Great play by C.J. Moran, and that ends the top of the second. Oaks don't score. They lead by 1. 1-0 Oaks. You're watching Conejo Baseball on YouTube. Bottom of the second at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Oaks lead 1-0 over the slow Blues. Jaden Kolkowski is back on the mound, and credit to Kolkowski. We talked about his numbers not being the best entering the game against the Barons, but he's now gone 5 scoreless innings in a row and not allowed a hit in doing so. Just 2 walks during that span.
Yeah, he's really looked good early on, and you know, he was able to throw 4 pitches to the first 2 batters combined, and you know, the Blues put together a couple of pretty good at-bats later in that first inning with the walk to Comerford, but he was able to end the inning from there, and you know, he looks to get that well-earned W today.
He gets the number 5 hitter, Diego Murillo, first. Murillo is batting .306 on the season. Plays at Cal Poly. First pitch, swung on and driven straight into center. Playable for Antwine, who barely has to move in moderate center field for the first out.
I will say about Antwine, he's quite versatile and maybe a multi-sport athlete, as we saw him throwing and punting a football before the game during warm-ups.
Yeah, maybe a punting career is in order. He got one way high in the sky at one point, but you know, I've seen that football around the Oaks sometimes. Always good to have fun before the game, and did not affect his ability to make that play. First pitch to Kyle Becker. Swung on, smack to right. It's a base hit for the right fielder. Kyle Becker gets the first hit off Jaden Kolkowski in over 5 innings pitched. He's on first with 1 out.
Talk about starting what the Blues hope to be a spark. Kyle Becker came in as a defensive replacement originally yesterday for Kosei Suzuki, who we got word before the game apparently had a dugout-related injury during the game, but he's really stepped up.
Yeah, that was surprising. We did not realize at the time that that was why Becker came in, but Suzuki could be done for the season after getting hurt in the dugout, which doesn't happen often, sprained ankle. First pitch on the way to Sean Rivas is a slider strike on the outside corner. Great pitch to start from Kolkowski.
Yeah, that slider just clipped the outside corner. Nothing really for Rivas to do but admire.
Rivas has played in 11 games this season. Pitch, grounded up the middle. It skips off the bag and through for a base hit. Blues fans are loving the offense here in the second inning. 2 on with 1 out.
And what's not to love? Couple of sparks early on, and you know, when you're at a ballpark with such a strong fan base, that really means so much to the town of Slow. That can certainly help hype your team up. And, you know, the Blues are inherently a great team, and I'd hate to think that they need that by any means, but they are certainly thriving and putting on some good entertainment for their fans.
Absolutely. 17-8 at home, 13-5 on the road. Pitch is taken high on a fastball upstairs for Diego Gonzalez.
Diego Gonzalez provided the first run spark for the Blues yesterday. He reached on an error. He reached on 2 errors in the game.
1-0 count, 1 out and 2 on. Becker's at second, Rivas is at first. Pitch to Gonzalez. Swung on and driven into shallow infield. Shortstop Nagy doesn't have to move much to make the catch for the second out.
Don't have to move at all when the infield fly rule is in play.
There you go. Might as well just drop it. Still have the same result.
Just ask Pete Kozma.
Now Dom Nahar comes up, and he's getting birthday cheers in the stadium. His 21st birthday is today. Steps in with 2 outs and 2 on. Outfield moderately deep for Nahar, who played yesterday and went 0 for 4 against the Oaks. Kolkowski waits and delivers. Slider tails outside for ball 1.
Well, we've seen a lot of interesting things happen on players' birthdays. I've seen it a lot in my college broadcasting career. We'll see if Nahar can bring that here.
I believe it might have been, was it Voiles earlier in the season
Yeah.
who had that? He had a big day on his birthday for the Oaks. 1-0 pitch. Swung on, hit towards second. Diving Mora can't get there. It's through. Becker gets the wave. He's headed home. Throws headed to third. It's a little bit late. And it's an RBI birthday single for Dom Nahar. The Blues have tied the game at 1.
Job well done. A great piece of hitting by Dom Nahar. And it's even sweeter when you can provide yourself, not only when you can help the team, but provide yourself a little birthday present. Any kind of hit, especially when you drive home a run. I'd have to imagine that's sweeter than any birthday present you can get.
Sure, why not? Why not start it off, get your team back tied up? Kolkowski is in a little bit of a jam now with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Cesar Chavez is up, and Chavez did pop out to the pitcher for his first out. First pitch is a strike at the knees. Pardon me, it was actually not a pop out to the pitcher. It was to the second baseman, Mora. Oh, 1 count with 2 outs. Runners on the corners. Pitch to Chavez. Swung on and missed. Great changeup from Kolkowski for strike 2.
We'll see if Kolkowski has recovered enough to finish off Chavez here after the Blues have tied the game.
No balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs and 2 on. Score tied at 1. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball into shallow left center. Antwine runs in on it. He has the play, and he makes an easy catch to end the inning. 3 hits, a run, and 2 left aboard. After 2, this one's tied at 1. You're watching Oaks baseball on YouTube from beautiful Sinsheimer Stadium. It's the top of the third at Sinsheimer Stadium, 1-1 between the Oaks and the Blues have made a pitching change. Moose Cuellar exits after 2 innings of 2-hit ball. He allowed 1 run and did not walk or strike out anybody. In his place, it's Arturo Becerra, making his 3rd appearance of his CCL season. He's thrown 2 total innings.
Arturo Becerra coming in on a tie ball game. Last time he was seen on the mound was on July 17th in the Blues' aforementioned 8-7 win against the Menlo Park Legend. Pitched just a third of an inning. He allowed 4 runs on 3 hits that game.
His first pitch to Zach Mora is a fastball hit hard into left past the leaping third baseman Comerford for a base hit. Zach Mora gets on in just 1 pitch, attacking early against the new pitcher.
Well, we can already tell this is a good baseball game. Oaks may have taken the lead in the first, but I knew in my gut, Calvin, that this game was not going to end 1-0.
Absolutely. We've seen plenty of offense from both teams. The season series is tied at 1 apiece. The Oaks won a game 12-6, and the Blues won a game 10-3, so you can only expect more offense today. And now Brandon Contreras gets time, but he's going to step back into the box. He flied out to left field to start the first inning. Mora is over at first. He's got 3 stolen bases this season. Throw over, and he dives back just ahead of the tag from Morant.
Something that the Blues showed quite a bit yesterday was keeping their eyes on the runners, keeping them close.
Mora extends to a moderate lead. Throw over. It's close that time, but Mora is again safe. We did see Zach Nagy get picked off of first yesterday, so certainly something to monitor for the Oaks. Mora gets his lead. He stays. The pitch is swung on and hit to left, but foul, headed toward the parking lot.
And last Saturday, we actually saw Zach Mora get picked off against the MLB Academy Barons late in the game. And that was a tough break for the Oaks because that was an inning in which the Oaks scored a couple runs to make it close.
Ultimately lost. Throw over, and Mora's back safely again. And Contreras could be a guy to add a lot of offense. 3 hits yesterday against the Blues, including a triple. He also had an RBI single. 0-1 count still after a lot of throws over to first. Mora might look to run with his lead. The pitch. It's a fastball upstairs, 1-1.
Contreras, certainly a tough battler at the plate. He's shown that ability to just work the count and make the pitchers work.
1-1 count. Becerra against Contreras. Throw over. Mora scoots back to first. And they are not going to let him get far if they can help it. 4 throw overs and just 2 pitches. 1-1. Swinging a drive into shallow left, chased by Nahar. He has an easy play, but he loses his cap while making the catch for the first out.
Well, you talk about Becerra keeping his eyes closely on the runners. Part of that is certainly so, especially with a runner at first, if you can get a ground ball, a potential double play, you want to give yourself the best chance of turning that double play. And the greater jump the runners get, the closer it is.
Here's Zach Nagy with 1 out and 1 on. Nagy singled in the first inning, right up the middle into center field. First pitch, fastball called strike at the belt on the outside corner. 0-1.
Nagy's family in the crowd, primarily from what I saw, his mom and sister, and they've been to pretty much every game, every ballpark that the Oaks have played at this summer.
0-1. Check swing. The pitch is high. Appeal to first, and they'll say no swing. And that's not to mention his brother Evan, of course, doing social media for the Oaks.
Nagy's have built incredibly strong ties with this team.
1-1 count. Nagy coming off a 2-hit day yesterday. The pitch swung on, grounded through the hole for a base hit into right field. Mora's at second, Nagy's at first. Both of the Zacks have come through in this inning. Still just 1 out.
And Nagy at 2 for 2. He has been so instrumental for the Oaks this season, and we normally see him further down in the order, but he's certainly earned the number 2 spot in the order, which we've seen him bat before as well.
Yeah, he's been at 2, at 7, at 9, which is the primary spot, but all sorts of different places, and he's done well in all of them. Here's James Latshaw with 1 out. The pitch. Fastball strike on the outside corner to Latshaw, who hit the sacrifice fly to drive in Nagy in the first.
Latshaw has got this grit and a tough game face quality to him that's really made him shine throughout the season.
0-1 pitch. Swung on, chopped to third, could be 2. Played by Comerford to second for 1. Gonzalez to first. Moran stretches, and the runner's out. What an ending double play for the Blues. 5-4-3. And just like that, the Oaks' threat is over. After 2.5, we're still tied at 1. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Bottom of the third, the Oaks and the Blues are tied at 1 here at Sinsheimer Stadium. The season series between these teams is also tied at 1, and the Oaks are trying to get a much-needed win today. If they can win and the Riptide lose tonight, they will be back in first in the CCL South.
That's going to be hugely significant for them, and you know, you think about the chances they have against the Riptide. It is tough from a standing standpoint because, for one thing, the Riptide have played significantly more games than the Oaks have. And that's true for the Blues, too. They've played a lot more games than the Oaks have. Of course, that doesn't necessarily matter right now because the Blues are in the North Division and the Oaks are in the South. But all the Oaks can do is just win these last 2 games.
Here's C.J. Moran stepping in against Jaden Kolkowski, who has allowed 3 hits and 1 run so far. The pitch. Slider low for ball 1. And the standings are very murky, and as you mentioned, the Riptide playing more games affects things a lot because the Oaks could win and get back into first today with a Riptide loss. But the Riptide have 1 more game than the Oaks, as there's a drive into right center for a base hit. C.J. Moran gets on first.
Excellent piece of hitting by C.J. Moran after going hitless yesterday. Gets back into that hit column, and I will say the first time that the Oaks hosted the Blues this season, in Moran's 1 at-bat, he did get a base hit in that first game, but unfortunately he had to exit the game in the middle of the inning due to some sort of injury, which was tough to see, but good piece of hitting.
Now it's Brendan Comerford who walked in the first. Moran is over at first base. Here's the pitch. Slow breaking ball, called strike on the outside corner. Going back to the standings, if the Oaks get into first after today, the Riptide have 2 games left and the Oaks have 1. Because ties are broken on winning percentage, if the Riptide win 2 and the Oaks win 1, the Riptide would be back in first. So the Oaks wouldn't control their own destiny. Swing and a miss on a slider for strike 2. And more implications even beyond that is the Saints and the Barons are battling for the final spot in the playoffs. The Saints need to win 3 in a row, and the Barons need to lose 3 in a row to get that spot. And right now, the Barons are down 2-1 to the Riptide. Saints are up big on the Indians, as there's a deep drive into left field. It's down, headed toward the wall. This could score a run. Comerford's to second. Moran's past third. Throw comes in. Nagy to the plate. Tag is down, and the ball gets away. Voiles had the tag, but it got out of his glove, and the Blues take a 2-1 lead.
Boy, what a big hit by Comerford as he drove that ball to the wall. The relay was nearly executed perfectly by the Oaks, but like you said, Voiles, he never had a good grip on the ball to begin with. By the time that the ball even touched his glove, I'm pretty sure Moran's hand was nearly at the plate, and that's just tough when you have to catch and drop the tag down at the same time. And when you're able to do it, it's an epic play. And Voiles, he nearly had it, but the Blues take a 2-1 lead.
So a huge hit for Comerford, the first extra base hit of the day for either side. And now Ethan Johnson is up with Comerford at second and still nobody out. Kolkowski fires. Swinging a chopper above the mid of Kolkowski and through for a base hit. Comerford gets the wave. Antoine will not throw into home, and the Blues are up 3-1.
Good for the Blues to get some insurance. As Johnson just grounded that ball up the middle. We mentioned his perfect day at the plate yesterday, and that bid was already broken in the first inning, but he gets a big hit up the middle, and Antoine had absolutely no play at Comerford at home.
Here's Diego Murillo with nobody out and a runner on first, and the Blues have really bounced back after starting down 1-0. Here's the pitch. Change up on the inside corner for strike one.
Yeah, the Blues have gotten into Kolkowski right away here in the third inning, and Kolkowski's yet to record an out.
Outfield straight away and deep, the pitch. Swung on, knacked to right, but it gets down for a base hit. Good hack from Murillo. He rounds first. Johnson's over at second, and the line keeps moving.
Murillo has accepted his invitation to the hit party. And the Blues, the first four have reached via hits. That's the minimum to get a run home principally, or that's the maximum hits for the first four batters to get a run home principally.
Blues have gotten 2 runs home by doing so, and now Kyle Becker's up. Becker had a single back in the second, and the Blues offense has looked really great in the second and third innings, taking the 3-1 lead. In the Oaks, in a game they really need to win, are facing a Blues team that also really needs to win. They and the Crawdads are battling for first. If the Blues win and the Crawdads lose today, each will have 2 games left, and the Blues will be in first place in the North. Nobody out. Runners on first and second, and the pitch is low. The count is 1-0 on Becker.
Well, we know that the Oaks road trips have not been easy for them, but it's going to be super important for them to really do everything they can and to find ways to come out on top.
The 1-0. Swing and a miss on a nasty breaking ball from Kolkowski. He went with the changeup for strike one.
Pretty good off speed there from Kolkowski as he fools Becker there.
A ball and a strike. Nobody out and 2 on. The Blues lead by 2. The pitch up and away on a fastball for ball 2.
Kyle Becker just smoked a single to right field his first time up.
Kolkowski behind 2-1. Here is the set. The kick and the pitch. Change up just high. Count is 3-1 against Becker, who's batting .225 entering today. CCL All-Star this season. Cooled off a little bit after the All-Star break. Here's the 3-1. Fastball high, and the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Well, that is the first base runner of the Blues to reach via anything but a hit in this inning.
And here is the pitching coach, Scott Radinsky, out to talk to Jaden Kolkowski. With the bases loaded and nobody out, nobody's throwing for the Oaks, but that might change soon. And we've talked about the Oaks' need for pitching depth. Kolkowski pitching today, and After that, it's a little bit murky. We initially expected Pearson Howe to see action today, but it looks like that's not going to happen after all. In which case, the Oaks have limited options left. I mean, you look to maybe a guy like Daniel Puebla being one. You could use maybe a starter in the bullpen, depending on how things shake out, but it's not an easy decision for David Solis or Scott Radinsky.
Not at all, and especially with the pitchers that the Oaks have lost this season for whatever reasons, whether injuries or pitchers that reached their innings and outs and pitch limits. That's the challenging part, especially for pitchers in summer ball. It's really managing that because of, you know, the rules from the coaches of their teams, like they can only throw X amount of innings and pitches per summer.
It's not easy for coaches to deal with, and the pitchers have slowly dwindled off of the Oaks roster this season. Sean Rivas, the catcher, is up with the bases loaded and nobody out. Kolkowski's pitch is a breaking ball strike. It's a slider. 0-1 count on Rivas.
Rivas singled up the middle his first time up.
This is huge trouble for the Oaks. The 0-1. Slider low this time. It's a 1-1 count, and the runners are Johnson at third, Murillo at second, and Becker at first. Outfield deep. Antwine just a step or two to the left of second. 1-1. Fastball inside at the belt. It's a 2-1 count to Rivas, the catcher.
The Blues really have the Oaks pinned against the wall here, and they've already broke through with a couple of runs, and they're certainly in a position to score a bunch more if they want.
2-1. Slider down the middle for strike two. Great pitch by Jaden Kolkowski.
Yeah, certainly a good location, and I don't think that was unhittable by any means, but Rivas with the wise take, making Kolkowski throw an extra pitch in the at-bat.
2 balls and 2 strikes, the pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup inside. It got Rivas all tied up for the first out, and now a double play could potentially end the inning.
Yeah, that's a huge strikeout for Kolkowski. He's able to record a very important first out. And you can get that double play without the possibility of a run.
Diego Gonzalez is up, trying to prevent that. Bases loaded still with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swinging at chopper, right side. Diving attempt unsuccessful by Aguilera. This is going to score 2. Johnson and Murillo score. Becker's at third. And Gonzalez is at first with a 2 RBI single. It's loud in here, and it's 5-1 Blues.
As it should be, and the Blues have blown the doors a bit wider open as they now have a 4-run lead over the Oaks.
Dom Nahar will come up with 1 out and 2 on, runners on the corners, and this is more trouble for the Oaks. Kolkowski, after such a great start against the Barons last week in which he didn't allow a hit or a run, has now allowed 5 in 2 1/3. Nahar is up, who had an RBI single to start things in the second inning. Here's the pitch. Swinging a drive up the middle, stopped by Nagy. He flips to first base. Aguilera has to stretch and the runner's out, but a run scores. Nagy might have had the play at second, opted for first. The Oaks getting out, but it's 6-1 Blues.
Yeah, either way, not really a difference made from the run scoring. On that play, and a heck of a play by Nagy. Yeah, I thought he might toss to second, but he threw to first. And on the other hand, I don't fully get the decision to slide head first there by Nahar.
Sure.
Because for one thing, that slows you down, but also generally you just have greater momentum if you keep running it out. But Blues get another run nonetheless.
They do have a runner on second. It's Gonzalez. 6-1 game. The pitch is a slider down the middle for a strike to Cesar Chavez, who is the 9th batter this inning.
He's 0 for 2 on the day with a pop out and a fly out.
0-1 with 2 outs. Oaks down 5 here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Next pitch. Fastball low and away. Voiles gets it and prevents the runner from moving. Kolkowski's only thrown 47 pitches. Not a crazy number by any means. It's just a matter of who could pitch next for the Oaks, and it's going to be a mystery until we see for sure. 1-1 with 2 outs. Kolkowski comes to the belt. Here's the next pitch. Breaking ball, flied into shallow right. Catchable for Contreras, who makes the catch and ends a 5-run inning for the Blues. 9 batters come to the plate. 1 is left stranded. 6-1 Blues after 3. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube. It's the top of the 4th at Sinsheimer Stadium, just shy of 7 p.m. here in San Luis Obispo, California. And Arturo Becerra is on the mound for his 2nd inning. Becerra entered with the game tied at 1-1 and allowed 2 hits, but got out of the inning on a great 5-4-3 double play against James Latshaw.
Yeah, he showed great resilience on the mound as Moose Cuellar exited after 2 innings. He allowed just 1 run in the 1st inning.
Now Becerra faces Caden Stillwell. The first pitch is a slider strike. 4 balls and a strike. And this was big for Becerra, a guy who entered this game with a 22.5 ERA in just 2 appearances, getting some momentum with a scoreless inning. 0-1 on the way to Stillwell. Check swing, it dips low on a breaking ball. Stillwell singled to right back in the 1st.
And that was after the sacrifice fly from James Latshaw, so nothing really became of his single, but it's been a fantastic contact source at the plate for the Oaks.
1-1, check swing on a fastball inside for ball 2. Matthew Whitco is on deck. Stillwell entered today batting .361, 2nd best on the Oaks. Wind blowing toward left field. Here's the kick in the 2-1. Slider called strike 2 on the outside corner. What a pitch from Becerra.
Yeah, that was wicked. It tailed away from Stillwell. Looked like it was going further outside, but it clipped the corner and put Stillwell in a troubled position at the plate.
2-2. Swinging a fly ball into shallow right. Played by Becker, who runs up and makes the snag for the 1st out. So it's Matthew Whitco next for the Oaks. Whitco grounded out back to Moose Cuellar at the pitcher's mound. He ran to his left, through to 1st, and made the play. So now with 1 out, here is Whitco. First pitch, up high for ball 1.
Whitco grounded out to end the 1st inning his 1st time up, and it's almost like a double ground out with the 1st one being a foul ball in the end.
1-0. Pitch is low, and yeah, there was some confusion on the field. Whitco seemed to know it was foul, and a lot of the players were starting to walk off the field, announcements being made in the stadium as if the inning was over, but it was not. But he grounded out anyway. 2-0, a fastball outside. 3 balls and no strikes on Whitco.
Well, the Oaks deep in the water here. They're chasing 5 runs after they first took the lead.
Blues have 8 hits already. 3-0. Fastball just low and away for ball 4. Whitco gets on base for the first time today with a walk.
Good job by Whitco. Able to get on with 1 out, and we'll see how the walks treat the teams that issue them today. That'll be certainly interesting to see.
Danny Aguilera is up. Aguilera grounded out to third base to begin the second inning. Whitco's at first with a medium-sized lead. He's got 1 stolen base, and he gets checked on back safely. And there's something energizing about playing in this ballpark. The Oaks will try to use that to their advantage. First pitch, so slider just inside to Aguilera. Becerra looks at first and brings it to the belt. Middle target. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball right down the middle. For strike 1.
Becerra was able to overcome some pretty big trouble in his last inning. We'll see what the Oaks can start in this inning.
Throw over, and Whitco's back easily. And the walk could start something. The Oaks had a couple hits last inning off Becerra. Just gotta be aggressive. Swinging early in at-bats really helped him. 1-1. Fastball called strike. Throw to first, skips away, but it's playable for Moran without the runner Whitco moving. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that one didn't skip too far away from Moran, and I like the idea of Rivas throwing to first right there, firing to try to catch Whitco off guard.
1-2 with 1 out. Becerra throws over again, and this has been a theme for both Blues pitchers when there's been a runner just on first.
It certainly has, and for good reason. A lot of these Oaks runners can really fly, and they've been showing that all season.
The umpire was motioning something across the diamond and now steps away. Hard to tell exactly what that was for. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitch to Aguilera. Way outside on an off speed. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Aguilera putting up a pretty good battle against Becerra here.
2-2 count with 1 down in the inning. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball belt high gets Aguilera to whiff, and that's the first strikeout all day for any Blues pitcher.
Yeah, Becerra just blew that one right by him, and great execution on that strikeout by Becerra as he's able to record a very important second out for the Blues.
Becerra has started this inning much better than the last after allowing a leadoff hit to Zach Mora in the 3rd and allowing another hit to Zach Nagy later on. He's got just 1 runner on first. Aiden Voiles is up. Here's the pitch. Slider strike on the outer half. 0-1 to the righty.
Voiles grounded out his first time up.
2 outs, 1 on. Blues up 6-1 in the top of the 4th. 0-1. Swung on and missed. Another slider, and Voiles got in front of it.
Yeah, that slider just tailed right away from him, and Becerra with the off speeds has really been throwing the Oaks off.
0-2 count with 2 outs. Next pitch. Swung on and missed. Up at the letters. Becerra has gotten into a groove with back-to-back strikeouts to end the top of the 4th. Blues lead by 5. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Stay tuned. It's the bottom of the fourth, and the Blues lead 6-1 over the Oaks at Sinsheimer Stadium in San Luis Obispo, California. Great to have you with us on this beautiful Friday evening. Blue skies and mid-70s temperatures with a light breeze. Alongside Sammy Fawn, I am Calvin Kaplan. And Sammy, Jaden Kolkowski's back out there for the fourth after allowing 5 runs last inning.
Yeah, he definitely had a rough third inning, but it's going to be interesting to see how he can rebound here, as we saw the Blues bat around in the bottom of the third inning. And, you know, the Blues certainly have a lot of offensive momentum heading into this inning, and they've got plenty of experience against Kolkowski, and all the more reason for them to keep getting as many runs as they can.
The Blues had 3 hits and a run in the second, and then 5 hits and 5 runs in the third. C.J. Moran is up, and Moran flied out to left in the first and singled to right in the third. Moran steps in, the lefty facing the right-hander Kolkowski. Moves up to 48 pitches on the day. First pitch of the inning. Swung on and popped up left side foul, headed toward the fans. It lands out of play on the grass concourse. No balls and a strike. Moran getting ready for the next pitch. He's batting .267 entering today. The 0-1. Breaking ball just outside. Kolkowski couldn't quite turn it back into the zone, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, the command wasn't as sharp as we've seen it on those last couple of pitches.
Here's the 1-1. Slider just low and away. And it's a 2-1 count to Moran. Outfield playing deep. Antwine, the center fielder, is to the right of second. Kolkowski's pitch. Swung on, chopped weakly first base side. Picked up by the second baseman Mora. He throws to Aguilera for the first out.
Well, a nicer start to the bottom of the fourth inning than we saw Kolkowski get off to in the bottom of the third, with the first 5 batters reaching, the first 4 of which got hits, and then a walk.
So Brendan Comerford, the third baseman, is up. Comerford had the big RBI double in the third inning to start the scoring. Here's the pitch. Swung on and popped up into deep center field. Antwine runs back under it to his right and makes the catch for the second out.
Starting to look a little more like the pitcher he was in the first inning, in which he faced 4 batters in that first inning. And this game certainly far from over, but Oaks see how much work they have to do.
And they'll hope for just the end of this inning at least out of Kolkowski, as they don't have many options in the bullpen today. Pitch to Ethan Johnson is a slider strike, curving over the zone, and credit to Jaden Kolkowski for really rebounding in this inning.
He certainly has, and this inning's not over, but he was able to retire the first 2 pretty efficiently.
0-1 to Johnson, taken low. We've seen Johnson terrorize the Oaks over the last couple of days, 4 for 4 yesterday, including a walk as well. Today, he is 1 for 2 with an RBI single that he poked up the middle weakly into center field to score Comerford. 1-1 with 2 outs. Johnson entered the day batting 6 for 14, now 7 for 16. The pitch. Slider strike on the inner half. It's 1-2.
Kolkowski a strike away from sending the Oaks into the 5th inning and holding the Blues lead where it is.
Slow has scored 6 unanswered after the Oaks scored in the top of the first. 6-1 game. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball just outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Johnson steps back in. Diego Murillo, the shortstop, is on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Here's Kolkowski. Swinging a chopper through the hole on the right side into right center field. Past Mora and into the glove of Antwine, who actually picks it up barehanded. Ethan Johnson is over at first with another hit.
He's 2 for 3 on the day now as he is able to provide a little bit of two-out magic, and we'll see if the Blues make anything of that here.
Diego Murillo will have a good chance. He's 1 for 2 with a single. Batted .306 entering today, and now in his 39th game played for the Blues this season. Wind blowing toward left field at Sinsheimer Stadium. First pitch, swung on and driven into center. Antwine has a long run back. He gets up and makes the play, though, for the third out of the inning. The Blues get 1 hit, but they strand Johnson at first. After 4 slow leads 6-1, the Oaks will look for a comeback after this. Top of the 5th, the Blues lead 6-1 over the Oaks, and the Blues are bringing in their third pitcher of the day. It's Trey Lagroni, the southpaw, warming up and getting ready to go. Lagroni is a CCL All-Star this season, and for good reason. In 8 appearances, he's thrown 15 innings, but has not yet allowed an earned run.
He has been literally lights out for the Blues this season, and he's 1-0 on the season. He's even earned 1 start this season, and his 1 win on the season came on June 25th in a 3-1 victory at Santa Barbara against the Foresters.
He will face Tyler Antwine first. Lefty-righty matchup. Antwine is set. Lagroni brings it to the belt and delivers. First pitch, fastball low and away for ball 1. In Lagroni's last appearance, he faced the Walnut Creek Crawdads on July 16th. That was the start you mentioned. He got 5 innings done, allowed 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and struck out 2. He's allowed 2 hits in 1 run, but it wasn't earned. 1-0. Pitch is high and away, 2 balls and no strikes. So he has been over 15 innings of work this season, practically unhittable. One of the best pitchers in the CCL.
Yeah, I mean, that right there just goes to show you his dominance this season, and like you said, more than well-earned all-star spot.
2-0. Fastball low and away. It's 3-0. He has allowed 6 walks this season, struck out 11. Playing at West Valley College. Last season there, he threw 40 1/3 to a 4.69 ERA. He's really turned it up this summer. Here's the 3-0 to Antwine. Fastball right down the middle for a strike. So great to have you with us on this Friday evening at Sinsheimer Stadium. Packed stands and many fans sitting on the grass concourse in their own chairs or on their blankets. 3-1. Fastball high and away for ball 4. Antwine draws a leadoff walk.
Maybe not the most ideal start for Lagroni there on that leadoff base on balls, but it's going to be up to him to just rebound here. He would tremendously appreciate a double play, we know.
He has not been in many jams this season, giving up that 7th walk of the year. And now he gets Zach Mora, who had a first pitch single to left in his first at-bat. pitch is a fastball low and away for ball one. And in a rare moment of slight command issues for Legroni, the Oaks can potentially try to capitalize here down by 5. 1-0 with a runner on first and nobody out. Next pitch, fastball on the outer half for a strike, perfectly located by Legroni.
Yeah, command was there and everything.
Mora steps back in, the number 9 hitter today, playing second base. Pitch, fastball in the inner half for strike 2. It's a 1-2 count on Mora.
Yeah, Mora's just got to stay in there and just get a feel for the situation and just get the bat on the ball if he can.
A ball and 2 strikes with nobody out. Wind blowing toward left field. Legroni delivers. Swinging a foul ball into the screen right side. Legroni's got a nice pitch mix. 4-seam fastball, sinker, slider, and changeup.
And that 4-seamer is race car fast.
He can get it up toward 90 miles an hour, even into the low 90s at times. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody out. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high drive to left and out of play. Mora got a good piece of that pitch, but just couldn't keep it fair.
Yeah, just a little bit ahead of it. Yanked it over the left field foul fence.
One, 2. Antwine taking a lead off first. He's got 2 stolen bases. Pitches high on a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oaks down by 5 in the top of the 5th here at Sinsheimer Stadium. 2-2. Hits Mora in the backside. So back-to-back base runners for the Oaks. Legroni hits his 4th batter of the season.
The first hit batter all day for either side. As the Oaks seem to be giving Legroni a little bit of trouble, and Dean Trainer is going out to the mound to talk to Legroni. And, you know, the first 2 runners reaching via free passes, the Oaks are certainly in a position to make the Blues pay for the damage they've inherited.
Yeah, and this is a huge opportunity. And like we've said, you don't get many of these off a pitcher like Legroni. That was Mora's 3rd time getting hit by a pitch this season, and this is an ideal hitter to have up for the Oaks and Brandon Contreras, except for the fact that it's a lefty-lefty matchup. So the mound meeting is over. Contreras walking around and getting prepared to hit. He had 3 hits yesterday, including a triple, but he's flied out to left field in both of his at-bats, and it's tough facing a left-handed pitcher as a lefty batter. But Contreras has been great this season, batting .426 entering today, good for 3rd in the CCL.
Certainly been a reliable source of contact at the plate for the Oaks, and the Oaks certainly need him in this situation here.
Legroni's first pitch is a sinker inside. 1-0 count, and that's going to be a tough pitch for Contreras to hit.
It certainly is, and Contreras fortunate to not have to do anything there. But a lefty-on-lefty matchup and the ball coming in, it's just so tricky.
The 1-0. Fastball high on Contreras. It's a 2-0 count. Legroni is up to 14 pitches today. Antwine is at second. Mora is at first. Long pause and the 2-0. Swung on and chopped weakly to the right. Legroni scoops. He can't get it, though. He bobbled it. Tag attempt is unsuccessful. Contreras runs through first past the attempt of Moran, and the bases are loaded after an error for the Blues.
And yet another break goes the Oaks' way, and that seems to be one of the toughest placed balls for defenses, right in between the mound and first base. And Legroni, he was just very rushed there and was unable to scoop it, and Moran was closer to getting Contreras out, but Contreras was already past him And now the Oaks threaten big time.
Zach Nagy's up with the bases loaded and nobody out. Legroni winds and delivers. Fastball high for ball one. And that is Legroni's first error all season. So he faces the bases loaded. And Nagy already has 2 singles today. Outside target. 1-0 to Nagy. Fastball just outside. It's a 2-0 count. Boy, what a chance this is for the Oaks.
Yeah, the Oaks building a lot of patient momentum at the plate, and you know, the command and the consistency for Legroni has not been there, so definitely some luck in favor of the Oaks, but they're making it work.
2-0. Fastball just outside again. So a 3-0 count. If Nagy walks, this run would not be earned, so it would not break up Legroni's perfect ERA, although he did commit the error that caused Contreras to reach. 3 balls, no strikes, nobody out, and the bases loaded. Legroni loads and deals. Fastball right down the middle at the belt for strike 1.
Certainly an advisable take there by Nagy, and he can afford to take one more pitch here.
Still ahead 3-1. Outfield moderately deep. Legroni fires. Fastball low and away for ball 4, and the Oaks get one back. It's the Blues 6 and the Oaks 2.
Well, the Oaks are chipping away without the benefit of a hit so far. And now, James Latshaw represents the tying run at the plate. And we saw him homer once this season, and it was against a lefty for the Saints. So, Saints certainly in a vulnerable position, or the Blues certainly in a vulnerable position here.
Latshaw has 5 RBIs. First pitch to him. Swung on and popped up weakly right side in foul territory. Moran runs toward it and makes the basket catch. That allows nobody to advance as he fires a strike to home. What an adjustment by CJ Moran.
Yeah, spectacular play in foul territory. That is far from an easy play to make. He had to track that ball perfectly the whole time, and he was able to come up with it. And on the other hand, I'm surprised that Latshaw would go after the first pitch like he did.
He is the first out of the inning, and now Caden Stillwell is up. Stillwell 1 for 2. The pitch, fastball high and in. It backs up Stillwell for ball 1.
So the Blues come up with a big first out. And Stillwell facing a little bit more trouble here.
1-0 with 1 out. Legroni delivers. Fastball low and away. Gets away from Rivas slightly, but he picks it up in the right-handed batter's box.
If you're Legroni here, you just got to keep that ball down in the zone and give your team the best chance of getting out of that inning with that ground ball double play, but don't want to miss your location against Stillwell.
He's been so good at that with his 4-pitch mix this season. 2-0. Fastball just inside. 3 balls and no strikes on Stillwell. And again, a surprising hitter-friendly count for the Oaks as Legroni has not found his momentum yet. Bases loaded, 1 out, at 3-0 count. 6-2 Blues lead here in the top of the 5th. Legroni fires. Called strike on the fastball. It looked like it might have been a little bit outside, and Stillwell certainly thought so, but it's 3-1.
Oftentimes when you see batters toss the bat on a borderline pitch like that, the umpire will call it most of the time.
Stillwell did not get the benefit, and the count is 3-1. The pitch. Swinging a high drive deep into left. Nahar has the play. He gets it. Runner tags. Mora's digging for home, and he's got there without a throw. It's 6-3.
Job well done by Caden Stillwell. Brings the Oaks 1 run closer. Oaks now have half as many runs as the Blues. Still down by 3, and Matthew Whitgo, the batter, still represents the tying run at the plate, and the Oaks have manufactured a couple runs. We'll see if they can stretch this any further.
That is the first earned run allowed by Legroni this season. And it puts the Oaks within 3. As you said, Whitco, the game-tying run, stepping up with runners on first and second, and 2 outs in the inning. Contreras is at second. Nagy is at first. Pitch to Whitco. Fastball strike on the outer edge. Nothing in 1. So 2 outs and 0-1 count. Legroni looks back at second. His next pitch is taken just high for a ball on another fastball.
Legroni's certainly an intimidating figure on the mound, but Oaks have found a way to break through, even if one of these runs is unearned.
The 6'4" Legroni looks in and brings it to the belt with the count at 1-1. He offers. Slider low and away. It gets away, and that allows the lead runner, Contreras, to get to third.
Well, that's the wrong runner to allow third right there if you're the Blues. Look at a pitch in the dirt. Contreras has an excellent read for pitches like that go in the dirt, and he recognizes when he has his extra base.
It is deemed a wild pitch. Legroni's first wild pitch all season. Count is 2-1 with 2 outs and runners on the corners. Legroni gets set. He looks at first. Here's the pitch. Swinging a chopper over to second. Chased by Gonzalez. He makes the scoop, throws to first. Close play. Runners out by half a step. Whitco ran as fast as he could, but doesn't quite get there. But the Oaks do manage to score 2. They strand 2 runners as well. After 4.5, Slow leads 6-3. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Bottom of the 5th here at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Blues lead 6-3 over the Oaks. And Jaden Kolkowski is still pitching. It's his 5th inning of work. He has allowed 6 runs in this game, so this is a little bit surprising, but less so, Sammy, when you think about the lack of pitchers in the bullpen today.
Yeah, and it's definitely a challenge that comes with summer ball. The later you get into the season, the more pitchers have thrown, and when a certain amount of pitchers reach their inning limits, pitches limits, whatever it may be, you tend to have to rely on pitchers, a lot of pitchers to go longer, even if they're not necessarily thriving out there.
Kolkowski did pitch well in the 4th, but struggled in the 3rd, allowing 5 runs. Pitch to Becker is a fastball just outside for ball 1. And yeah, it's a little unsure about who the Oaks could go to next. We know Daniel Puebla and Pearson Howe are both here today and have pitched lengthy outings, but we'll see if they go to them. 1-0 is a slider strike on the outer edge. It's a 1-1 count to Becker.
Yeah, because there's definitely a timing component to it too, right, where you have to think about who can I rely on tomorrow or the next game.
1-1. Swing and a fly ball down into right field for a base hit. Contreras runs it down, and Kyle Becker has 2 hits and a walk today. What a start for him offensively.
He is swinging a hot bat for the Blues. And you just talk about, you know, his his adjustment as he came into the game later yesterday as a substitution, and he's been a highly contributing bat at the plate for the Blues.
Sean Rivas is up now. He has a single and a strikeout today. And after Trey Lagroni allowed 2 runs, 1 earned in the top of the 5th, the Blues' lead is not so safe, 6-3. The pitch, up high on a fastball for ball 1.
See if Sean Rivas can follow up on Becker's single with the hit of his own.
Next pitch. Fastball blocked inside by Voiles, and the count is 2-0. Kolkowski's up to 64 pitches now today. Rivas is back in. Diego Gonzalez, who had the 2 RBI single in the 3rd, is on deck. Throw over. Runners back without a tag. And it is a gorgeous day here at Sinsheimer. Low 70s temperatures, slight gusts of wind, and perfectly sunny in San Luis Obispo.
Lights have come onto the field, though.
Absolutely. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and missed on a fastball, a little bit above the zone. It's 2-1. Looks like Daniel Puebla is warming up for the Oaks in the event that he needs to come in soon. 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball low, blocked by Voiles, and it's 3-1. And if Kolkowski could get through 5 innings here, yes, it's not the best statistical outing, but that would be massive for taking pressure off the Oaks pitching staff.
Certainly would. And just a huge help for his team in general.
Middle target, the 3-1. Up high for ball 4. Rivas draws a walk, and the Blues have 2 on with nobody out.
Chipping away to begin this 5th inning, and out to the mound goes David Solis.
We'll see if this results in a pitching change. Solis going out to talk to Kolkowski, who's now up to 67 pitches on the day. Kolkowski does indeed give up the ball, and it's Daniel Puebla time here at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Blues have 2 runners on base with nobody out. We'll see the incoming freshman in college, Daniel Puebla, up next. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Bottom of the 5th, nobody out and 2 on for the San Luis Obispo Blues, who lead 6-3 over the Oaks at Sinsheimer Stadium. Daniel Puebla is now pitching for the Oaks, and he's been great this season. 8 scoreless innings through 5 outings. He's allowed just 4 hits. It's been a really great start to his collegiate career before he arrives at Oklahoma Christian University in the fall.
He certainly has, and he came into this summer following an abrupt ending to what was really a tremendous high school career on the mound. We've talked about it, that the last game that he pitched, he had pitched twice in that week, which that in itself is not necessarily wrong in the league, but he had exceeded the outs limit in the week. The outs limit was 30 outs, and he had recorded his 33rd out, and his head coach basically had to self-report that. And unfortunately, his team had to forfeit for the rest of the year. So really, all of those seniors had their careers ended by that, which is really tough as a player. But Puebla has put that behind him and started his run in this season very nicely.
First pitch high and in to Diego Gonzalez for ball one. And yeah, that's about as brutal of a way for your high school career to end as you can find. But you said it. He's put it all behind him and been a dominant relief pitcher at a time where the Oaks don't have many relief pitchers left in the bullpen, as is the nature of summer collegiate baseball. Here's the 1-0. Fastball swung on and missed on the outer half by Gonzalez. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
And one thing we've seen from Puebla consistently is that his command tends to be on point.
It absolutely is. He's walked just 1 batter all season. 1-1. Swung on and tipped into the backstop. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Gonzalez. Puebla has struck out 4 batters this season. He's hit 1 batter. And again, just 4 hits and no runs allowed. He's got 1 win. Came back against the Riptide on July 14th. 1-2 pitch. Swinging a fly ball foul left side and out of play.
Engineering sponsoring our free foul balls tonight.
He comes in a challenging situation here where Kolkowski has already inherited 2 runners. And I'm sure Solis and the Oaks wanted to see Kolkowski finish this 5th inning, considering how many or how little pitchers the Oaks have left. But sometimes, you know, you only have so much stamina.
1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Puebla gets a changeup to dive low on the outer half, and that is a great pitch for the first out.
Boy, that was filthy. He caused Gonzalez to completely lean forward into that one. And no way for him to get a piece of that one. And now the Oaks are a double play away from getting out of this inning.
Classic Daniel Puebla in a jam. He's come in jams before this season, and again, still has not allowed a run to his own name. Dom Nahar is up, who has a hit and an RBI ground out today. 2 RBIs total. First pitch. Swung on and popped weakly into right center. It gets down in front of Antwine for a hit. Now the runners move. We'll have to hold Becker at third because he had a late jump in case that ball was caught. And the bases are loaded.
Wise if you're Becker. I think he did the right thing. It's always tough as a runner when you think, oh, the ball did drop. If I had gotten a great jump, I would have scored. But when you have less than 2 outs, you just got to be cautious. But the Blues certainly still threaten, and they absolutely want to capitalize on this opportunity. And they have a batter at the plate that can certainly help them do that.
Absolutely. Cesar Chavez is second in the CCL in RBIs entering today, but he's 0 for 3 tonight. Bases loaded and 1 out. A double play still could end the inning via forces. Here's the pitch. Fastball called strike at the knees to Cesar Chavez. Chavez still looking for a place to play next year. Played 3 seasons at Cal State LA and batted .349 in 2026. And certainly expect him to commit somewhere soon, and he's earned his spot somewhere nice as a CCL All-Star this year. 0-1. Fastball gets behind Chavez to the backstop. Runner Becker gets home, and it's 7-3 Blues.
Blues catch a break as it's a 1-1 count now on Chavez, and the runner Becker able to take his base and score for the Blues. And I think if you're Puebla, I would have liked to have seen him hustle to the plate, as maybe the Oaks might have had a closer shot against Becker. He might have scored anyway, but I don't know. It's just the ball took somewhat of a carom off the backstop.
Yeah, it would have been a tough play, but not impossible by any means. But that's Puebla's first wild pitch of the year. Here's the 1-1. Fastball poked to the right and down the line, foul. One-two count on Cesar Chavez. Runners on second and third. That run not charged to Puebla, and neither would Rivas if he scores from third base. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rivas on third. Nahar on second. Infield in with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Brutal breaking ball from Puebla. Gets the second out.
Well, it's certainly big for Puebla to be able to get that second out after that wild pitch. And that run is charged to Kolkowski. But, you know, anytime you give up a wild pitch and you strike out the next batter, it, in some sense, might be tough just to take, thinking like, oh, you know, just the little things like wild pitches. You always want to avoid them when you can, but every now and then it happens.
Puebla still in a good position to get out of the inning with allowing just 1 run charged to Kolkowski. Here's C.J. Moran, first pitch to him. Fastball called strike at the knees. Really great location so far this inning outside of that 1 pitch by Puebla.
Yeah, certainly, and we've seen that from him consistently throughout the season. He will continue to keep hitters on their toes like that.
0-1 with 2 outs and 2 runners in scoring position. Next pitch. Fastball low, and Moran holds up. He's 1 for 3 so far today with a single in the third. Puebla steps back onto the rubber with the count at 1-1 and 2 outs in the inning. He sets at the belt. Kicking the pitch, swinging a chopper over to short. Nagy runs in on it and he loses it. It went off his glove. That's going to score 2. Neither of them earned on the error, but what a brutal mistake. It's 9-3 Blues.
Brutal is absolutely right. The Oaks had the inning-ending ground ball right in front of them, and Zach Nagy just booted it. And that's just a mistake that you cannot make against a team like the Blues, especially in a game that means so much and that the Oaks need to win to have a better chance of getting that first place bye into the playoffs.
Absolutely. The Oaks.
Looks like a balk is called on Puebla.
Indeed. Yeah, that's his first balk of the season, and that allows Moran to advance to second. So things are starting to fall apart for the Oaks. 9-3 Blues. That was Nagy's 15th error on the season, but we've seen him make some great defensive plays as well. Just a mental mistake there. First pitch. Swung on, hit to second. Above Mora for a base hit into right. Moran gets the wave. This could be close at home. Throw comes in too late from Contreras, though, and it's 10-3 Blues.
How about the Blues immediately making Puebla and the Oaks pay for the balk? You allow Moran to get into second base, and then you drive him home. And I mean, this all just goes back to the error. And these bonus runs, the Blues essentially have 4 of those if you also take into account the wild pitch.
So Comerford gets on with the single. Now Ethan Johnson's up. First pitch, low for a ball on the fastball to Johnson, who's got 2 hits. And now the Blues are back in front big again, and it's going to be tough for the Oaks to overcome this. This is the identical final score of yesterday.
It certainly is, and this being the score much earlier in the ball game, but Blues have really blown this game open.
1-0 with 2 outs, and Comerford at first. The pitch, called strike at the knees on a fastball down the middle. It has not been easy for Puebla. Runner goes, the pitch is down the middle for a strike. He still has not allowed an earned run, and he won't this inning because the error would have been the 3rd out.
Yeah, so any run at this point is unearned.
So Comerford steals another base. He's got 15 on the season, 2 today. 1-2. Swung on and missed on a slider. Great pitch by Puebla to end the inning, but the Blues already got 4 across. After 5, San Luis Obispo leads 10-3 over the Oaks. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube. It's the top of the 6th at Sinsheimer Stadium, and the Oaks trail 10-3 to the San Luis Obispo Blues. The Blues have a new pitcher. It's Mikey Rodriguez, making his 9th appearance this season. He's appeared in relief every single time, and he is a CCL All-Star this season, coming in with a massive lead.
Picked up a win earlier in the season on a 1-0 victory in Walnut Creek against the Crawdads. He pitched 2 2/3 that game, allowed just 2 hits, did not allow a run, and he fanned 3 batters that game.
This year in the CCL, he's got a 2.87 ERA and 15 2/3 innings, 23 strikeouts, so very dominant in that category, and he's got 1 save. He faces Danny Aguilera first, who's 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout. First pitch from the righty. It's a hard fastball up and in for ball 1. And Rodriguez is recently a commit to the University of Central Arkansas after spending time at Youngstown State. Next pitch, just outside for ball 2.
Aguilera's been a quiet bat at the plate today, a ground out and a strikeout.
Trying to bounce back here. Kicking the 2-0. Swinging a chopper to third base. Picked up by Comerford on 2 hops. He's got lots of time, and he throws to first to get Aguilera easily for the first out.
I got to say, considering what an intimidating pitcher the Oaks had to face last inning in Lagroni, the Oaks got to him, and he ended up allowing a couple of runs, largely thanks to, walks and a hit by pitch and the error. You look at last inning, the Oaks didn't even get a hit.
Yeah. Still scored 2 runs, though. Now Aiden Voiles is up with nobody out. Nobody on and 1 out. The pitch. Fastball strike on the outer half. And Rodriguez, we mentioned the hard throwing. He's got a fastball that goes up to 96 miles an hour. Usually sits in the low 90s. Slider mid-80s and a curveball around 80 miles an hour. 0-1 is that hard fastball for a strike on the inside edge. Nothing in 2.
90s, especially high 90s, that's draft me velocity.
Sure, yeah. Spent time at Youngstown State, as we mentioned, and had an 8.31 ERA there this past year, but got the stuff, that's for sure. He's done well this summer. 0-2 to Voiles. Swinging a weak pop-up into the infield. Played by Gonzalez at second for the second out. So Tyler Antwine comes up with 2 outs and nobody on. Antwine has a ground out and a walk today. Set from Rodriguez. First pitch. Fastball low and in for ball 1 to Antwine.
Antwine has gotten off to a bit of a slower stretch lately. Haven't seen him be super consistent lately. He does have 1 home run on the season.
1-0. Fastball just low and inside again for a ball. Yeah, Antwine has reached base in 3 straight, but hasn't had a multi-hit day since July 10th against the Foresters when he went 2 for 5. He's picked it up considerably this season, though. 2-0. Called strike down the middle on a fastball, 2-1. Two outs, nobody on, and a 10-3 lead for the Slow Blues. Rodriguez kicks and fires. Swing and a miss. Fastball is so hard to catch up to, and it's 2-2.
Certainly is. It also had a tad bit of movement on it, too. Just made it that much more nasty.
Yeah, you see a lot of these guys sometimes get some cutter shape on their fastballs, and if you can do that even just a little bit, it doesn't have to be a full-on cutter. As long as it has run on it, that is tough for guys to hit. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs to Antwine. Pitch. Swung on and popped up high in the sky on the infield. Foul territory. Rivas has a play, and he makes a leaping catch to end the inning. An impressive readjustment by the catcher to get Tyler Antwine out on a foul ball. And that is a 1-2-3, top of the 6th. Blues lead by a lot. Pueblo will be back out there for the Oaks after this. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Into the bottom of the sixth at Sinsheimer Stadium, the Oaks trail by 7. It's a 10-3 lead for the San Luis Obispo Blues, and Daniel Puebla is back to pitch. He allowed 2 runs last inning after relieving Jaden Kolkowski, but neither of them were earned. There were also 2 runs charged to Kolkowski's line. One of them was earned. And Puebla gets the number 5 hitter, Diego Murillo, first.
Yeah, Puebla, certainly a good time for him to rebound. He didn't pitch bad by any means in the last inning, but just certainly some trouble that he was brought into and that he had to face himself. Allowed the RBI single to Comerford and then was able to recover to strike out Johnson. But he comes into this inning, new inning. The Oaks are chasing 7 runs, and as you mentioned, it's the score. The current score was the final score in yesterday's game.
The Blues are in control, looking to win the season series 2-1 against the Oaks. The two teams' first matchup here in San Luis Obispo. Puebla looks in on Murillo, who's 1 for 3 with a single today. He kicks and delivers. Fastball chopped toward third, picked up by Whitco on a couple hops. He throws to first for an easy first out on just 1 pitch.
No problem there for Whitco as he's able to corral it cleanly and get the out.
Kyle Becker, the right fielder, is coming up. Becker has reached base 3 times, including with 2 singles. He is having a great day and really breaking out of a slump. He, in his last 5 games before today, went hitless 4 times and went 1 for 3 against the Foresters in the other game. First pitch, fastball strike on the outer half. 0-1 to Becker.
Kyle Becker, he has just been hitting the ball really solidly today. He's hit a couple of bangers.
The 0-1. Pitch skips low in the dirt. It's 1-1. Both of Becker's singles went to right field. Sean Rivas, the catcher, is on deck. But Puebla continues to settle in. He allowed his first 2 runs of the season last inning, but still has not allowed an earned run. Middle target from Voiles. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a fly ball foul left side, way out of play. 1-2 count, 1 out, with nobody on in the bottom of the 6th. So great to be here with you at Sinsheimer Stadium. Lots of fans in the stands as always for this Oaks versus Blues matchup. 1-2, swinging a foul tip into the backstop. It pops back and hits Becker in the heel. That is a fun coincidence that we haven't seen this year.
That is certainly not something you see every day, and takes a series of things going right to make that happen.
Didn't seem to hurt. Becker is not in any discomfort at all. Didn't pop back all that hard. 1-2 count with 1 out. Pitch to the lefty. Fastball just outside, dropped by Voiles. It's a 2-2 count. Outfield's playing pretty deep. Antwine's a few steps to the right of the second base bag in center. Outfield shallowest in left where Stillwell is. Becker, the lefty, would be a pull hitter to right field. Here's the 2-2. Fastball just above the zone and a little bit outside. It's a 3-2 count.
Becker really battling Puebla here. Blues with plenty of insurance. And there, a team like them should not be satisfied.
1 out. Here's the 3-2. Swinging a foul ball, popped up just to the left of the press box and out of play.
Thanks to Rick Engineering for sponsoring our free foul balls today.
Kyle Becker steps back in the box as Puebla walks up the mound. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Lights on here at Sinsheimer. The Blues lead by 7. Here's the pitch. Swinging a tapper, third base side. Just foul down the line. Could have been a tough play for Whitco had it stayed fair.
Yeah, it certainly looked close, and I thought maybe it was going to hit the third base bag and deflect fair. Didn't turn out to be the case, but certainly a tough ball to watch.
Wind blowing toward left field. Puebla gets set. Another 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the left and out of play. Becker just keeps going.
Yeah, he is a tough one to put away right here for Puebla. And Puebla just has to keep facing him. He's got to keep throwing that ball and keep making it tough for Becker to get on and to get the bat on the ball, really.
Puebla stares in and brings it to the belt. Middle target from Voiles. The 3-2. Swung on and driven high into left center. It's playable for Stillwell, who backs up and makes the play. At last, the Oaks managed to get Kyle Becker out. That is a big second out in the inning. A 10-pitch at bat that ultimately goes in Puebla's favor.
Yeah, good for Puebla to really stick in there, and he ends up winning the battle. Gets a pitch good enough to keep in the ballpark, as Becker has been swinging the bat exceptionally well, and that's no exception there. But luck was not on his side.
2 outs, nobody on. Sean Rivas is up. Rivas has a single and a walk, sandwiching a strikeout. 10-3 Blues. Here's Puebla's pitch. Fastball just inside for ball 1. Puebla now up to 30 pitches on the day. The Oaks have a day off tomorrow before facing Philippines on Sunday. Here's the 1-0. Check swing, it's low and away, throw it over to first, and they'll say he went around. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Certainly a tough pitch to see as a batter, and Puebla was able to get the call in his favor.
1-1 with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside, it's 2-1. Puebla stretches out, walks back up onto the mound. It's a 3-0 count, so no, 2-1 count, pardon me. The scoreboard changed for a second, and then it changed back to what it is, the pitch. Called strike 2 over the middle. Scoreboard says 3-1, but the umpire is flashing 2-2.
They've just fixed it.
There it is. I think it was a bit of a surprise that they actually ruled it was a swinging strike for Rivas. That was the question.
I think I was surprised by that myself.
2-2, swing and a miss. Daniel Puebla is tough to hit. A 1-2-3 sixth, but the Blues still lead by 7. 2/3 of the way through regular time. 10-3 Blues. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Top of the 7th, the Blues lead 10-3 over the Oaks. And the 5th different pitcher of the day is on the mound for San Luis Obispo. It's Chase Rogers coming in for his 4th appearance this season. He has thrown 3 innings total and allowed just 1 earned run and 1 run overall on 1 hit. He will face Zach Mora first, with the Blues sporting a huge lead.
Yeah, the Blues, a 7-run lead with 3 innings to go. And if they can put the Oaks away here, not only will that be good for the Blues standing-wise, but it'll also hurt the Oaks' chances of securing that top seed into the playoffs.
Mora has a single and a hit by pitch today. First pitch from Rogers might have hit him. It snuck by. They'll say it went just past his leg. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
And Mora's been on twice. On the bus ride here to SLO, I somehow got peer pressured primarily by Mora into playing Mafia.
We'll see if he can peer pressure a hit. He peer pressures a hit by a pitch and tosses the bat away. And so he is going to feel the pressure over to first.
Man.
With nobody out. 2 hit by pitches today. That's not comfortable.
It's not. I will say, though, he is a fine godfather, as they call it, moderator of Mafia.
He's a nice guy. I mean, he's also, a phenomenal game player, as we know. But Chase Rogers, the side armor, hits a batter. That is his 3rd hit batter this season. Brandon Contreras is now up, and maybe an opportunity for the Oaks here. And you mentioned the standings, and it's going to be interesting to follow what the Riptide and Barons do tonight, because that also has major implications for this game, because the Riptide could put the Oaks in trouble, as there's a pitch that gets away, and Mora just trots over to second. 1-0 count on Contreras after the wild pitch.
We'll see what the Oaks can make of that break, as they have a runner in scoring position, and Contreras, a phenomenal contact hitter, is yet to get a base hit today. He did reach on an error, though, from Trey Lagroni back in the 5th inning.
We'll take you through all of the playoff implications this inning, and there are a lot of them, as Rogers steps off, pitch to Contreras, way outside, and Rogers continues to struggle to locate as the count's 2-0.
Yeah, these last few pitches have not even come close in the zone. The command is certainly the biggest thing he needs to work on here.
2-0 count with nobody out. Mora off second. Next pitch, fastball low and away, 3-0. So to go through the scores, or to start doing so, the Saints are up 13-3 on the Indians. The Riptide are up 3-2 on the Barons, and if the Barons lose and the Saints win, the Saints are still alive for the playoffs. They need to win their final 2 if that happens, and the Barons would need to lose their final 2, which could set up on Sunday a win-and-get-in matchup between the Saints and the Barons, as the 3-0 is just outside for ball 4. And so this, for the Barons, losing potentially at home to the Riptide would be probably an upset given how the Barons have played at home. And that would make things really interesting because the Barons get the Blues next. And, I mean, as you can see today, the Blues are a dominant team. And that will be played at Sinsheimer. And a big crowd coming probably for the fireworks show.
Oh, heck yeah. Out to the mound goes Dean Traynor for the Blues. But going off of fireworks, remember last year coming to SLO, the big fireworks show after the Blues defeated the Oaks about as soundly as they lead over them right now.
Although that could change with the runners on right now and Zach Nagy at the plate. You look at the other scores for the Blues, they're watching Crawdads Seagulls, not physically right now, of course, because they're in the dugout, but the Crawdads are up 2-0 on the Seagulls. If the Crawdads were to lose and the Blues were to hang on today, the Blues would get back into first. But the Crawdads being up right now makes it likely that Walnut Creek will still keep first. Then, of course, you've got the Oaks implications. The Oaks will hope that the Riptide lose, because if the Riptide win and the Oaks lose today, if the results that are currently on hold, the Riptide will clinch first place in the CCL South, forcing the Oaks to play a wild card game. First pitch to Zach Nagy. Gets behind him. Wild pitch again, and 2 runners advance.
Chase Rogers has not really been able to find the plate at all this inning. 2 base runners as now they're both in scoring position, and the Oaks may have a chance to knock on the door here.
Absolutely. If they win today and the Riptide win, the Riptide would still be able to get in to the first seed just by going 1-1, but it would keep the Oaks alive if the Riptide lose their final two, or if they lose today, the Oaks would be temporarily back in first place. 1-0, gets behind the batter again. Everybody's going to run around the bases. The Oaks score Zach Mora, and it's 10-4.
Well, no matter how big your lead is, you got to find a way to just get a grip and get control, and that's the biggest thing that Rogers is having trouble with in this inning.
And for a submarine pitcher, they normally have to get extra movement on from where their arm angle is, and Rogers is just not getting it, pulling back into the strike zone. 2-0. That hits Nagy, and this is turning into a disaster. The Blues might want to get someone warming in the bullpen.
And, you know, the Blues are in a similar position that the Oaks are in terms of the fact that they only have so many pitchers themselves remaining in the season. And they have played quite a few more games than the Oaks too. So, you know, you think about more work being done, and yes, that is going to be it for Chase Rogers. His trainer immediately makes the signal.
Tough day for Rogers, one of those that you'd like to just flush and forget. Not typical for him, of course, at all, as he, again, allowed 1 run in 3 innings entering today, but not his day. The Blues will have a new pitcher when we come back. Oaks down 6 with 2 on and nobody out. Back after this. Two on, nobody out after Chase Rogers gets chased out of the game. Now it's Shane Grant trying to clean up for the Blues against James Latshaw. This is Grant's first appearance with the Blues this season. He pitched for the Coastal Dodgers for most of this season and was an all-star for them. That was the 2-0 in their exhibition game, and the Blues played them as well.
And if you can be as tremendous as you were with them and then get yourself up to the Blues, that's certainly a big transition, but a well-earned one.
Late season edition, Grant's first pitch in a Blues uniform is popped up right side foul and out of play by James Latshaw. Grant had a 5.40 ERA at Allen Hancock College last season in 6 appearances. He's headed back for his sophomore season. And getting some summer ball reps, not a bad idea when you throw just 8 1/3 in your first season in college.
Yeah, any reps that you can get, especially, you know, summer ball is super competitive, so it's great practice.
Fastball high and in for ball one against Latshaw. And for the Oaks, they're down by 7. They have not come back from a deficit this large this year, but they can't be giving up here in the 7th inning. They've shown flashes of offense, but just 4 hits today. Grant kicks and delivers. Check swing. Appeal to first, they'll say he did not go on a slider out of the zone. It's 2-1.
We'll see if Grant can stem the tide here as Rogers basically had himself chased out of the game.
Kicking the 2-1. Swinging a hard drive into left, base hit. That'll score 1. Nagy stops at second, and James Latshaw has his second RBI of the day. It's 10-5 Blues.
What a great rip there by James Latshaw. It's a big hit out into left field. Oaks down by 5 runs still, but they're making their way back. And there's still nobody out in this inning, by the way.
Yeah, it's a good point. Caden Stillwell's up, and Stillwell has a sac fly and a single today, along with a fly out. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Grant looks at second. Kicks and delivers. Bunt shown. Stillwell lays it down perfectly. Grant has to track. Bare hand. Throw to first. Gets the runner, but both advance on the base paths. Textbook from Caden Stillwell.
Absolutely. Very well placed. And Shane Grant makes a nice play himself to get the out at first. And we've seen more often than not when pitchers try to make that throw to first, they may rush the throw. And oftentimes when that happens, the ball goes down the right field line. But for the time being anyway, the Blues able to keep a couple of those runners on base.
Runners on second and third, 1 out. Pitch to Whitco is a fastball just outside. Looked close to the zone, just missed. 1-0 count to Whitco, who has had 3 multi-hit days in a row entering today, but is 0 for 2 with a walk. He could drive in 2 with a single, though, and make it a 3-run game.
He certainly could.
1-0 with 1 out and 2 on. Here's the pitch. Swinging a tapper to second base. This could score 1. Gonzalez throws to first for the out, but Whitco does his job. It's 10-6 on the RBI ground out.
Another productive out for the Conejo Oaks, chasing 4 runs now.
Runner on third, 2 outs, and Danny Aguilera comes up. Aguilera is 0 for 3 today. 10-6 Blues in the top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. Slider called strike on the outside edge. Good pitch by Shane Grant.
Yeah, the Oaks have had a lot of productive outs throughout this game. There were the 2 sac flies by Latshaw and Stillwell. Brought runs home. And these 2 in the 7th inning.
0-1, slider outside. 1-1 count. And the Oaks have done a good job getting 3 home, but want to get the runner on third to score if possible. It is Latshaw over there. 1-1 count with 2 outs. Next pitch. Swinging a high drive into left. This one falls. It's a base hit. Danny Aguilera has his first RBI of the day, and it's 10-7 Blues in the lead.
All of a sudden, this game is getting a little more interesting this inning. Oaks with 4 runs in this top of the 7th.
I think you were prophetic at the beginning, Sammy, expecting this game not to end at 1-0. It certainly hasn't. This is the highest offensive showing almost between these 2 teams. There were a combined 18 runs in the team's first meeting, 17 today. First pitch, swung on and tapped foul by Aiden Voiles behind the catcher Rivas, and it's 0-1.
And just when you think this game may have been all Blues after they took what may end up being their unrelinquished lead, this game has gotten quite a bit closer after the Oaks were down by 7. Now they're just down by 3.
Here's the 0-1. Taken low and in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Grant has done a decent job so far, but the Oaks have been ready to swing. He doesn't necessarily have overpowering speed, and the Oaks are taking advantage of that. So Grant is the 6th different pitcher for the Blues today. It's been a bullpen day for this team. Here's the 1-1. Slider just outside. The count is 2-1. And if Voiles can get on base, the game-tying run would come to the plate, which is not a sentence we thought we'd say in the 7th inning. 2-1 with 2 outs. Aguilera off first. The pitch. Swinging a high drive into right center. Could be in the gap. Becker runs for it. He reaches up and makes the running catch. What a play by Kyle Becker, ranging to the ball in center. That might have scored a run, but instead it gets Shane Grant out of the inning. Time for Take Me Out to the ball game. The Oaks trail by 3, but they scored 4 in this one. 10-7 Blues back after this. It's the bottom of the 7th, and the Blues lead 10-7 over the Oaks at Sinsheimer Stadium in San Luis Obispo. Daniel Puebla is still on to pitch for what would be his 3rd inning of work, and he let home a couple runs in the 5th inning. Neither were earned, but pitched a scoreless 1-2-3 6th. He continues to just be a really, really good addition for the Oaks this season.
Absolutely, and he has shown an overall, sign of dominance that he has faced other teams with. And, this game, you could say it doesn't paint him in the best light, although he came in a situation where there were 2 runners on, and certainly an error that really, really hurt the Oaks. And if that error wasn't made, who knows? It's much closer, but Puebla, for him to retire the Blues in the next inning, the bottom of the 6th, certainly gives him some good momentum heading into this 8th.
Absolutely, and he has still not allowed an earned run this season, although, like you said, those 2 runs might not paint him in the best light considering how they came across. First pitch is a strike on the inside edge to Diego Gonzalez, and of course he also let home 2 inherited runs, one of which was earned, one not, but both charged to Jaden Kolkowski. 0-1 count to Gonzalez, who is 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI single. Next pitch. Fastball low that time. It's 1-1.
Gonzalez had a 2 RBI single back in the 3rd inning.
Part of a 5-run 3rd for the Blues. Puebla looks in and sets. Outfield moderately deep. Antoine to the right of second. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a high fly ball into the night sky in right field. Playable for Contreras, who runs up on it and makes the play for the first out.
Puebla able to get Gonzalez to get under that one and sky it out there to right.
Dom Nahar is now up. Nahar has 2 RBIs today and 2 singles. He's 2 for 3. One of the RBIs was on a ground out, though, up the middle. But still a great day for Nahar at the plate. Puebla looks in, having recorded the last 7 outs. First pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch that was on the outer half. Nahar tried to check it, but couldn't quite do so. Count is 0-1.
Nahar's had a good day at the plate today. He is 2 for 3 with a pair of RBIs.
Great in this number 9 spot for the Blues. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Great pitch from Puebla, and Nahar was late on it. It's 0-2. So Nahar steps back in, adding 303 on the season entering today, and he's had a great day on his birthday, which the Blues celebrated during his first at-bat. 0-2. High and in on a fastball. It's a 1-2 count with 1 out in the inning. Nahar's 3-game hitting streak that he carried into yesterday was snapped against the Oaks when he went 0 for 4, but he's back on this evening. Righty-righty matchup. Kicking the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Daniel Puebla is really dialing up the strikeout stuff. 5 strikeouts for him today.
Oh, you said it. And he's, just such a tough pitcher to face, and he's got filthy stuff. He's a young guy who's going to continue to experience tremendous growth. He's got one heck of a college baseball career ahead of him.
Playing for Oklahoma Christian University next year, and with the way he's pitching this summer, Sammy, you said it, he should be dominant there and could be immediately. Back to the top of the order. First pitch to Cesar Chavez is swung on and hit hard to left for a base hit past Nagy. Cesar Chavez finally has his first hit of the day. He's now 1 for 5.
Hey, never too late to join the hit party.
Next up for the Blues, number 24,
He got a good piece of that ball and just grounded it right through the left side.
And that was big for Chavez to extend his hitting streak to 3 games. CJ Moran is now coming up. Moran is 1 for 4 with a single. He also reached on an error in the 5th. Went to second on a balk and got driven in on an RBI single from Brendan Comerford. Chavez with a small lead at first. Here's the pitch. Fastball just outside for ball 1. Chavez has 18 stolen bases, which is 4th in the CCL entering today. 1-0 count with 2 outs. Lights on here at Sinsheimer at 8:30. Next pitch. Swung on, tapped into the screen left side. It's a 1-1 count on Chavez. Puebla walks up onto the mound. The Oaks scored 4 runs in the top of the 7th to cut the deficit from 7 to 3. Wind has died down a little bit, but it's still blowing toward left field. Outfield deep. Here's the 1-1. Fastball strike on the inner half, and Puebla's location continues to be phenomenal.
Took the words right out of my mouth. He continues to hit that target and just really give the hitters tough pitches to track mentally and physically.
Here's the 1-2. Fastball low. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Puebla has no walks today and 1 walk this season. It's a 2-2 count with 2 outs and a runner at first. Chavez is taking his lead. Here is the set. Pitch to Moran, runner goes. Swinging a tap into the screen, foul. Still 2-2, and Chavez had an excellent jump. He might have made it to second.
Yeah, he certainly did, and if that ball's hit into the gap, that's almost like a forget about it run if it splits the left and center fielders enough.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In the bottom of the 7th, Oaks trail by 3. Puebla fires. Swinging a drive into center. Hard hit, but at Antwine, who runs at it and gets it, running to his right for the 3rd out. 1 hit for the Blues, but 1 runner left on bases. After 7, the Oaks trail by 3. They're slowly coming back in this game, but need more offense. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Top of the 8th, Blues lead 10-7 over the Oaks. And Tyler Antwine comes up first. Antwine's 0 for 2 with a walk today, and he faces a new pitcher from the Blues, Carson Boyer, the left-handed side armor, who is the 7th pitcher today for slow. He replaces Shane Grant, who went an inning and allowed a run. First pitch outside for a ball. And, of course, Chase Rogers also pitched in the 7th and allowed 3 runs. His location just wasn't there.
Yeah, his command was definitely not present, and he had all kinds of trouble.
There's a fastball on the inside corner for a strike to Antwine. It's 1-1. The Oaks scored 4 in the top of the 7th and blanked the Blues in the bottom of the inning. 1-1 pitch. Swinging a tapper foul to the right side. The Oaks' offense really started with that 4-run inning. They had 2 runs in the 5th as well and 1 in the 1st. But they're still behind.
Carson Boyer, rising freshman at Gonzaga, certainly has great stuff which he has shown this season.
1-2 count, the pitch. Slider just inside. It hits Antwine. So another hit batsman from a Blues pitcher. That's the 4th today. And Antwine takes first.
Yeah, the location and free bases, the little things have probably been the things that have been most hurting the Blues. They're still up by 3, and they've had some luck go their way with some defensive woes by the Oaks.
Pitch to Zach Mora, swung on and missed above the belt on a fastball for a strike. Boyer saw limited time at Gonzaga this past season, 2.2 innings across 4 relief appearances and gave up 4 runs. He's got a 4.15 ERA this summer and 17 1/3 as he throws a fastball high, 1-1 count.
And it's pretty unique and rather unusual in summer ball to see a series of side armors, especially for one team.
Here's the 1-1. Fastball tails outside. It's 2-1. Yeah, we saw Rogers do that earlier, and now it's Boyer. 2-1 count. Mora has got a good opportunity. He's gotten hit by a pitch twice today to double his total this season from 2 to 4. Also has a single. The pitch. Swinging a high pop-up, right side foul. Chased down by Moran. Does he have room? He does, and he secures it for the first out.
Well tracked by Moran. He's been seeing the ball super well in foul territory. We saw him make quite a spectacular catch earlier in the evening in which he had to basically turn his whole body with his glove reaching over his head to make the catch.
Now Brandon Contreras is up, and yeah, that was a great play by Moran earlier in the day. He has been great in foul territory, that's for sure. Contreras has a walk. He's also reached on an error, and he's flied out twice. 1 on, 1 out. Lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the pitch. Fastball right down the middle for a strike. 0-1.
Contreras has reached twice today, neither time via a hit. He's reached on an error and he's walked.
Kick in the 0-1. Swung on and tapped foul into the screen. No balls and 2 strikes on Brandon Contreras. The Oaks could make this exciting with a couple of big hits here. 0-2 count with 1 out and a runner on first. Boyer to Contreras. Swinging a drive, left side, down the line, foul by a little bit. It rolls off the fence. Contreras got a good piece, but he was a bit late.
Yeah, certainly a good approach there, especially with 2 strikes, but a little bit late on the ball, and Rivas going out to talk to Boyer.
It's an 0-2 count with 1 out. Pretty good spot for Boyer. He could also get a double play to end the inning. Contreras is coming off a 3-hit day against the Blues yesterday, but he's just had trouble today, partially because he's faced multiple lefties. And it's not an easy matchup for a fellow lefty. Boyer brings it to the belt. Small lead at first for Antwine. Here's the 0-2. Slider tails outside. It's 1-2.
Oaks have been making Boyer work quite a bit in this top of the 8th inning. And if they can keep their 3-run lead as it is, they'll have a lot of momentum heading into the 9th.
1-2, fastball up. And Contreras is still going in this at-bat. Contreras gets back into the box. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out, and a runner on first. The Blues lead 10-7 over the Oaks. Here's the pitch. It hits Contreras. Boy, that is scary as he goes down in pain. Contreras gets up, and it's hard to tell where he got hit. Maybe in the hand or the shoulder or even on his head. He's taking off a batting glove, and my goodness, that is a scary sight. It looked like he blocked the pitch with his hand, and now his hand is the thing that's hurting. Contreras getting attention from the Blues athletic trainer, and we know how easy it is to get your hand hurt on a play like that, and they really hope he can stay in the game, both for his own health and just for the Oaks in general. Never want to see that for any player, but he is going to walk to first.
Yeah, that was certainly quite scary to see, but appears as though he is okay, and anytime you have to go completely down on your back or front side, it's never a pretty sight.
The Oaks' best hitter is over at first after getting hit by a pitch. 5 hit batsmen today by the Blues. And now Zach Nagy's coming up, who has reached base 4 times, twice on singles, and he's the game-tying run. What a spot for him.
Blues in a surprisingly vulnerable position here.
1 out, 2 on. Here's the pitch. Fastball right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 to Zach Nagy. Nagy had 2 hits yesterday against the Blues. Contreras is over at first. Looks to be fine to stay in the game. No one covering him. Runner at second as well. The pitch. Swinging a drive over to second, could be 2. Gonzalez loses it though. It's an error. Antwine gets the wave. Contreras to third. Throw to second. Nagy's ahead of the tag. And the Oaks are within 2. While following the error, it is 10-8.
Just when you think the inning's going to end on a double play ball, Gonzalez comes up a wee bit short, and the Oaks can really make that hurt here. If you're the Oaks, you definitely know that you got to make the Blues pay for that mistake.
Silence at Sinsheimer. Gonzalez was thinking early about the double play, and understandably so. You want to end the inning right there, but he couldn't do it. It got through his glove, and that is a costly, costly error for San Luis Obispo. Here's the first pitch to Latshaw, low and away for a ball. If Latshaw gets a single hard enough into the outfield, this could tie the game. And there's 1 out in the inning. What a turn of events.
All those little things that make a difference.
Gonzalez's 3rd error this season. He's been good in the field. 1-0. Fastball just outside to Latshaw, and it's 2-0. Trouble for the Blues, who once led by 7 in this game. The Oaks made so many cardiac comebacks last year. The only one they've really had this year was against the Foresters, coming back from down 3 in the 9th. Here's the 2-0. Down and away. Down and in, pardon me. It's 3-0. This would be the largest comeback this season, by far.
Absolutely, and you also have to wonder at this point, how much does Carson Boyer have left him in at this point?
That is also a good point. 3-0 count. Here is the pitch. Called strike on the outside edge. And when we look at the Oaks' largest comebacks this season, by far it's against the Foresters. They were down 8-3, but that wasn't a win. They tied that game at 9. They were up at one point. They got the lead back 9-8, but that was a tie. And this would be larger than that if they can come back. 3-1 to Latshaw. Swing and a miss, strike 2. What a pitch from Boyer. This feels like it could really swing the game.
Oh, well, Latshaw has the power to do that right here.
If Boyer gets the strikeout, plenty of momentum, though, for the Blues, but it would just be the 2nd out. Here's the 3-2. Swinging a chopper, first base side, foul. That looked promising, but squirted too far to the right.
And maybe the Oaks just might have caught a break there. I mean, if that's fair, it's it's not out of the question for Contreras to score on that, but it's a little tough.
That's true. He could have thrown home and maybe gotten the lead runner. Not a good situation. 3-2 pitch. Just outside ball 4, and the bases are loaded for Caden Stillwell.
Boy, what a turn of events here at Sinsheimer.
Here comes Dean Traynor out to talk to Carson Boyer, the 7th pitcher of the day for the Blues. I'm out of room on my pitcher score sheet. Gonna have to start making room if there's a substitution here. The Oaks have not faced more than 7 pitchers in a single game this year.
And Trainor's not walking particularly fast out there, so. And at the same time, the Oaks having a meeting of their own. Yeah. What a high-pressure situation this. Any play about to happen could be the play of the game.
Yeah, 10-8. The go-ahead run is on first base with 1 out. And remember, the Oaks entered the 7th down by 7 in this game. Caden Stillwell's coming up, and boy, what a good hitter to have up for the Oaks. The 2nd leading hitter in terms of batting average, .361 entering today. He had a single, a flyout, a sac fly, and a sac bunt today. So he has done what needed to be done to get the Oaks some runs. But we'll see if he can get a second hit of his own.
And I'll tell you, if the Oaks somehow do come back and win this game, for one, think about what kind of momentum they'd have heading into tomorrow or into Sunday against Philippines. But that would also better their chances of getting the top seed if the Riptide don't go 2-1.
Swinging a long drive foul to the right. Stillwell got all over it, but late. And you said it, the Riptide are up 3-2 on the Barons. So if that result holds and the Oaks lose today, the Riptide would clinch first place. So the Oaks basically might need to win this to keep first place alive in the South. 0-1 with 1 out and the bases loaded. The pitch to Stillwell. Swinging a drive into right. It's shallow. Chased by Becker. He makes the catch. Runner tags. A play at the plate. No. Contreras goes back. Good decision. He probably would have been out.
Yeah, as hard as it is to decide not to go and take that chance of taking a run, that throw beat Contreras by, or would have beat Contreras by about 3 miles. So, you know, as hard as it is to not score there, the last thing you want to do is run yourself out of the inning.
Oh, absolutely. Crawdads won, so if the Blues win, they still wouldn't get back to first. Their chances would be slim at first place if they lose today. Here's Matthew Whitco, who is 0 for 3 with a walk, although he has an RBI ground out. Wouldn't work here with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Fastball just outside for ball 1. Right now, though, the Riptide are threatening in the 9th to extend their lead on the Barons, who would have the bottom of the 9th to try and win it. 1-0. Swinging a foul ball into the screen left side. It's 1-1. What a fun game we've got here as it's 8:47 at Sinsheimer. It's dark and the lights are on.
It's a very pretty night here in Slow.
1-1 count with 2 outs and the bases loaded. 10-8 game, the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Boyer has responded in a big moment. It's Contreras at third, Nagy at second, Latshaw at first. Boyer got a fly out from Stillwell on a shot that was shallow into right. Can Matthew Whitco, who's coming off 3 straight multi-hit days, come through with his first hit today? 1-2, 2 outs, top of the 8th in a 2-run game. Here's the pitch. High on a fastball for ball 2.
Good take from Whitco as he's able to keep the setback going and keep that pressure on Boyer. And we'll see what becomes of this at-bat.
Whitco hit a go-ahead grand slam in the 8th inning against the Saints. The 2-2 swung on and driven far left side and foul out of play. That had good distance. Riptide have just scored 2 runs. They're up 5-2, and so now the Oaks even more so need to get this. And the Saints are pleased as they're about to beat the Indians. If the Barons lose, the Saints are still alive for a playoff spot. 2-2, swing and a miss! Carson Boyer walks off the mound in jubilation. The Blues get back-to-back outs to hold the Oaks behind. San Luis Obispo leads 10-8. Not over yet, but the Blues get some momentum back into the bottom of the 8th after this. Bottom of the 8th, and the Oaks are going to a new pitcher down by 2. It's James Latshaw on 1 day of rest, pitching as the Oaks are short on pitchers. Latshaw threw 38 pitches on Wednesday against the Barons, and he's coming back out for Friday. And the last time he pitched on 1 day of rest, he had thrown 38 pitches in the tie against the Foresters, came out and got the hold against the Saints with the Oaks up by 1 in that game. Eventually didn't turn out to be a hold, I suppose, with the 3-run homer in the 9th for the Oaks, but I mean, he did well the last time he pitched on short rest. He's here again today. First pitch to Comerford. Swung on, chopped to third, but foul. And Latshaw, the DH today, means that the Oaks are removing the designated hitter spot for now.
Certainly interesting to see later in the game, but yeah, I mean, you talk about the way that Latshaw has been able to step up and really get the job done and contribute despite having just a day of rest. It's been phenomenal.
0-1, swung on and tipped into the mid of Voiles. It's 0-2. And Latshaw has a .497 ERA this season, 6 for 32 entering the day at the plate. And this year, I mean, his biggest moment was against the Foresters. 2 innings pitched, 1 run allowed, but he got the strikeout to get the game still tied with 2 runners on. The 0-2, tails back over the plate, but low. It's 1-2 on a slider. The Oaks stranded the bases loaded in the top of the 8th. With 1 out, they had the bases loaded, and they were down by 2, but they were down by 7 at one point in this game. It is a fun one. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Absolutely nasty from Latshaw for the first out.
Yeah, that one just tailed to the inside part, and Comerford just rung up.
So 1 out in the inning. And Ethan Johnson comes up, who has been an Oaks killer lately. Over the last 2 days, he has gotten 6 hits, all singles, and had a walk, and gotten out just 2 times. What can Latshaw do against the hottest hitter on the Blues? Latshaw looks in for a long time and sets. Took 4 pitches to get Comerford. Here's the pitch to Johnson. Slider low for a ball. Attendance over 1,500 announced at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Blues get top attendance in this league by a lot, and it shows. So many fun experiences at this ballpark today, and the Oaks' lone regular season trip to San Luis Obispo. Season series on the line, playoff implications on the line. Doesn't get any better than this in summer ball.
Absolutely not. I mean, you get closer to the end of the season and you start to really feel and realize what you've played for all season long. And when you actually start to see the hard work pay off, I can't really think of a much better feeling than that.
The Riptide are up by 4 on the Barons. So if the Barons lose, the Saints would still be alive for a playoff spot, having beaten the Indians 13-3. The Oaks would need to win to keep their first place hopes alive. The pitch, fastball strike on the outside corner, 1-1. Crawdads beat the Seagulls, so the Blues need to win today. Otherwise, they would have to go 2-0, and the Crawdads would have to go 0-2 to even have a chance at first place. It'd be a close winning percentage battle then. 1-1. Fastball just low for a ball. Two-one count. Here's the next pitch. Low and away for ball 3. And to verify, if the Blues did go 2-0 after losing today and the Crawdads went 0-2, the Blues would actually take back first place. They wouldn't be out even with a loss today, but they would be close to it. 3-1. Low ball 4. Johnson gets a walk.
Ethan Johnson on base for the 3rd time today. He had 2 hits previously. And the Blues will definitely want to chip away here, as the Oaks are not out of this one by a long shot.
Oh, absolutely. It's Diego Murillo coming up. Murillo is 1 for 4 with a single. Murillo steps in. Kyle Becker is on deck. Runner on first, 1 out. The Oaks could use a double play right here to bring it to the 9th. Here's the pitch. Fastball called strike down the middle. 0-1. Intensity is ratcheting up. One of the most intense games the Oaks have played this year, with a chance at first place in the CCL South to stay alive for it on the line. It is a late night here in San Luis Obispo, close to 9 p.m. Throw over, runners back, but it gets away. Aguilera has to chase it to the fence. Johnson's running, he's going for third, and the Blues fans are loving it. They have a run 90 feet from home as Johnson's dancing on the third base bag. Oh, what a mistake.
Oh, that one hurts if you're Latshaw. Had a somewhat comfortable position with Johnson at first with an 0-1 count, and you get a ground ball with the runner at first, you can get a double play, but instead, the Oaks infield now is to play up.
1 out, 0-1 count. Murillo at the plate, and the Oaks don't want to give up another run here. 10-8, Blues on top. Here's the kick in the 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt, stopped by Voiles, it's 1-1. Pressure time for James Latshaw.
He's seen various types of pressure, both on the mound and at the plate this season. And we'll see how he can battle through this one.
1-1 with 1 out. Voiles gives the middle target. Runner on third. Here's the pitch. Swinging a rip up the middle. It's fair and into center field. Johnson scores, and the Blues lead by 3.
Well, another run ultimately gifted by a mistake. And if the Blues can build even a little bit of momentum heading into the 9th, which it seems like they are doing, that'll certainly work in their favor. And the Oaks just really have to, they got to play defense here. And if you're Latshaw, you just got to get back into it and face these hitters and just be as strong as you can against them.
Time for Kyle Becker with a runner on first. The Blues lead 11-8. Here's the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball into left field, but foul. It lands harmlessly. And 1 run is not the end of the world. The Oaks scored 4 runs in the 7th. But this is making them ever so regret leaving the bases loaded, down 2 in the 8th inning. They had just 1 out. My goodness, was that close. 0-1, 1 out. Becker at the plate with 2 hits and a walk today. Runner on first has a big lead. Murillo's got some speed. He goes, he stops, he dances back to first, and the pitch. Slider just outside, 1-1.
The Blues are going to continue to make Latshaw work for as long as they can make him.
Murillo has 14 stolen bases, could be a threat to remove the double play. Runner stays 1-1. Pitch is just outside, 2-1. And if I'm Murillo, Latshaw's not checking over at first. I feel like I would run, try to get the double play out of there.
Not the worst idea. I mean, although we have seen the way the Oaks can claw back, and you don't necessarily want to lose a runner on the bases when you don't have to, but
it's also a good
maybe
point.
A risk worth taking.
We'll see if Murillo does it. He's got a big lead. He stays 2-1. Fastball outside. It's a 3-1 count on Kyle Becker. Latshaw has been so tough all season long. He's come into games sometimes and hasn't had time to warm up. 3-1 count. Can he battle on 1 day of rest, coming off a 38-pitch outing on Wednesday to get the Blues out of this inning without further scathing? Here's the 3-1. Swinging a tip into the screen, and the count's full. And never more apparent is the Oaks' lack of pitching depth at this point in the season than now, because there just aren't a lot of options they could go to other than Latshaw.
You're absolutely right. The Oaks, I'd imagine, have probably used the amount of pitchers that they envisioned themselves using today. I mean, they had to make some mid-inning changes as well due to difficulties.
3-2, high and away, ball 4. So that's a big walk. And yeah, you said it. I mean, the Oaks are probably planning to use 3 pitchers today, but you've always got to be prepared for more toughness. I mean, it's really over these last few days taken some heroic performances from Oaks pitchers to make sure that the pitching depth has been okay. And Latshaw, we know he has the ability to continue to push through and get through this inning. He can certainly do it. but he's definitely tired out there, and you have to feel for him as he tries to persevere. 2 on, 1 out. Revis is up. Double play could end the inning. That would be absolutely massive for the Oaks, down by 3. Here's the pitch. Fastball low, runner goes, throw to third, tags down, and Murillo is out because he hesitated on the base paths. Man, he had a good jump and just stopped. That was the difference.
Yeah, he completely killed his momentum. You saw him when he was on first indicate the possibility of him taking off for second. He ended up holding, but in that play, just made a very uncharacteristic base running mistake, and not one that you want to make for sure against a team like the Oaks.
Becker on first. The 1-0. Fastball low and away. Voiles pumps it first. 2-0 count as he gets it back to his pitcher.
And can you imagine if Voiles could gather enough momentum after that play to pick off Becker at first?
Man, that would be incredible. Quite a catcher highlight sequence. Probably would send that everywhere he can. 2-0 count, 2 outs. A better situation for the Oaks, but they're down by 3. Latshaw from the belt delivers. Fastball strike on the outside corner. Great pitch. And the impressiveness of James Latshaw has been huge. Credit to the coaching staff for doing as well as they can with limited arms. It is the toughness of the Oaks that stands out, but they are battling every day with a lot of their pitchers having departed. Here's the 2-1. Fastball low, and it's 3-1. And there's a feeling if you're Latshaw just wanting to get this over with, up to 22 pitches, not wanting to walk a guy and bring up Gonzalez, who has been tough for the Oaks to face this season. 3-1 the set with 2 outs and a runner on first. Pitch. Swinging a drive into right. Run in, Contreras. It's actually in the infield, caught by Aguilera at first, and the inning is over. The Oaks strand 1, but allow 1. We'll go to the 9th. Last gasp for Conejo against Carson Boyer, who's back out there, coming up after the break. Top of the 9th, and the Blues lead by 3 over the Oaks at Sinsheimer Stadium. Carson Boyer is out for his 2nd inning of work. Boyer pitched the 8th, and it was a difficult 8th. He hit a batter, got a pop-up, hit a batter, allowed an error, walked a batter to score a run, allowed a flyout, and then got a strikeout. So he basically stranded the bases loaded with the Oaks down just 2 and 1 out. He got the next 2 batters. But the Oaks have been in this spot and succeeded once before. They were down by 3 in the 9th against the Santa Barbara Foresters on the road, got 4 runs to take the lead in what eventually ended up being a tie. No ties here with the Lights, but, you know, they could use the 4 runs.
They certainly could, and we have not seen them pull off a comeback win down by 7, that's for sure. But certainly within their capabilities here, as Boyer has to finish off the Oaks here in the 9th inning, and this is the Oaks' last chance to better their chances of possibly securing the top seed.
You said it. The Oaks would have their largest comeback of the season if they came back from down 7 to win. Pitch to Aguilera is a fastball strike at the knees. And there is a need for the Oaks to win this one because the Riptide have the 6-2 victory against the Barons. So that keeps the Saints alive in the playoffs, but the Oaks need to win to keep their chances at the 1 seed as the fastball misses outside 1-1. And how about that? I mean, just as a brief aside, the Saints with 2 games to go are still in it. They need to beat the Riptide tomorrow, and if the Blues beat the Barons, that would set up a win-and-get-in matchup on Sunday. 1-1 is a fastball just outside 2-1.
Just incredible things at stake for these teams and so much on the line that you want to work hard for.
2-1 pitch is a called strike on the inside corner. 2-2 to Aguilera, who has an RBI single today. And noise at Sinsheimer here as the fans can feel it. The Oaks need to win to keep their one-seed hopes alive after the Riptides' victory. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Boyer gets the changeup by Aguilera for the first out.
Program number 1041.
What a big first out, and that certainly brought more noise out of the Sinsheimer faithful.
That was impressive, and Boyer has been really locked in now. He gets Aiden Voiles, who is 0 for 4 on the day. Oaks just got to find a way to get this going. Here is the pitch. Swinging a drive to short. Diving stop. Murillo. Throw to first is off the bag, and it gets away. Voiles stops it first smartly. He has an infield single, and what a play it was by Murillo to get the stop, but Voiles still beat it out.
Oh, an unbelievable play by Murillo just to be able to stop it from going to the outfield. And I think if he had better balance, he could have made a better throw to get Voiles. But his footing was just not there. So Voiles on first. And the most Antwine can do in this particular at-bat is make it a one-run game.
He's gotten walked and hit by a pitch today, but no hits. 0 for 2. The pitch. Swinging a chopper. Weakly left side foul. It's 0-1. If Antwine gets on, the game-tying run and Zach Mora would come to the plate. And Mora has been good today with a single and 2 hit by pitches.
Pretty good part of the order for the Oaks. Don't get fooled by it being the bottom of the lineup.
And it looks like Matthew Ramirez is in the hole for the banged-up Brandon Contreras. That is big. The 0-1. Fastball outside. Ramirez has had his fair share of good plays this season. Had a big hit against the Blues yesterday and against the Bombers the other day. But that means that Contreras might be a little banged up after getting hit on the hand by a pitch. Here's the 1-1. Swinging a drive, right side foul, headed toward the Blues dugout. It's 1-2. What a spot it would be if Matthew Ramirez could come up. The Oaks have to get through this first. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out in the inning, and a runner at first. Here's the set from Boyer, who looks over at first. Pitch to Antwine. Fastball way high and outside. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Tough pressure both for Antwine as well as Boyer.
Runner on first, 2-2. Voiles takes his lead. Boyer looks at him. The pitch to Antwine. Swinging a drive into right, down the line. Does it stay fair? It does. And it gets past the right fielder, Becker. Extra bases for Tyler Antwine. Voiles gets the signal. Antwine's going 3. Throw to the plate is offline. It heads over to third. Comerford cuts it off. And it's a 2-run game with Antwine 90 feet from home.
Boy, what a big hit. That ball kept twisting down the right field line, and Becker just couldn't get to that one, and I think they're ruling it a single and an error on Becker, the right fielder, as he misplayed it, allowing Voiles to score and Antwine to reach third, and out to the mound goes Dean Traynor. We'll see if Boyer continues here.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see, and you said it. I mean, it was a single. Becker played it on a tough hop, was kind of hoping it didn't go down the line. And that's it. The 8th pitcher for the Blues will come in. That is the most the Oaks have faced this season. Boyer's day is done. The Oaks have the game-tying run coming up to the plate with 1 out and a runner on third. 11-9 Blues. What a game. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Do not go away. Top of the ninth, the Oaks trail by 2 to the Blues, and the Blues have brought in a pitcher who we've seen today. At the plate, it's Brendan Comerford, the two-way player, coming in from third base to pitch. That means Diego Gonzalez is over at third. Brady Alves is now in the game at second. And, I mean, what a season it's been for Comerford on the mound. 3.18 ERA and 5 2/3. 6 hits, 2 runs allowed. And he did face the Oaks on July 9th, allowed 3 hits and a run.
Yeah, and he comes in to face the Oaks again. He's got a lot more pressure on him now, though, as Antwine stands at third and Mora at the plate representing the tying run.
First pitch to Mora. Up and away for ball 1. And I'll tell you this, Matthew Ramirez was in the hole for the Oaks. Now he's been subbed with Tyson Reese, who was a late scratch. He's on deck. But talk about a guy who has power and could get a big hit. 1-0, swing and a miss for strike 1. And of course, Ramirez, we've seen him do the same thing. But it's hard to match Reese's home run hitting ability. Reese has got 4 home runs this year.
Absolutely, and Oaks looking to sneak him in late in the game, and it'll just be interesting to see the dynamic when it reaches him.
1-1, fastball just outside, and it seems like with the game getting unexpectedly close, David Solis decided to make that switch to bring in the power guy Reese, and of course a home run with a man on could tie this game. Here's the 2-1. Fastball inside, it's 3-1. Comerford, a CCL All-Star, hit a home run at the plate, and we mentioned his decent ERA. 6 hits allowed this season, 5 strikeouts and 2 runs. Here is the 3-1. Low and away, ball 4. And how about this? The go-ahead run at the plate is tied for the lead in home runs for the Oaks. It is Tyson Reese. Have we ever seen Tyson Reese do big things for the Oaks this season? This could be the most clutch spot of all.
He's hit 4 home runs this season. Each of them have been clutch in their own right. One of those home runs is a grand slam. And he's hit every kind of home run on each of them.
It's 320 to the right field wall, which is where Tyson Reese likes to hit them the most. Here's the first pitch. Swinging a high drive into right center. Long chase for the 2 outfielders, and it falls in the gap. It falls in the gap. Reese gets to second. Mora gets the wave. Throw home plate at the plate. It gets away. This game is all even at 11.
Are you kidding me? The Oaks, innings ago, looked like they were out of it, down by 7 runs. They score, we saw them score 4 in the 7th, and they have nearly turned this game upside down. Whatever happens next, we will see a bottom of the 9th inning.
11-11 with a runner in scoring position and 1 out and silence at Sinsheimer. Here's Zach Nagy to try to put the Oaks in front. Here's the pitch, swinging a drive into right. It is shallow. Becker gets the play, and Reese heads back to second. But what a decision. Pinch hitting Tyson Reese in the 9th, and he rips a first pitch fastball into the right field gap and ties the game for the Oaks.
And if you know baseball well enough, you start to see how similar it is to playing chess, says the guy who's never played chess in his life. But you understand, how the decision-making process, it's just so mental, and it's a coach's game, too.
2 outs, runner on second. Latshaw's still hitting despite pitching in this game.
Maybe he'll pitch here and be subbed out, who knows?
The pitch, slider low and away. It gets stopped by the catcher, Rivas. So remember, Reese is still at second. Nagy flying out to right makes it 2 outs in the inning. Latshaw with a single could give the Oaks the lead, and boy, would they want that. Heading into the bottom of the 9th. Don't want to go to extras with the Oaks' depleted staff. The 1-0 tipped into the screen. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. And who would you go to if it is extras? I mean, Pearson Howe is here. We know that.
Yeah, and they haven't used him yet, and I mean, yeah, I don't know. You just have to, do you go to more of your bench?
The Oaks have someone warming. Maybe it's Jaden Valdez. Who knows?
It looks like it, yeah.
It is Valdez. He's the other guy you could go to, and he's got plenty of rest as well. 1-1 with 2 outs. Latshaw at the plate. Silence at Sinsheimer. Here's the pitch. Swinging a drive, right side, foul into the trees. 1-2. And Comerford, like Latshaw, had to come in with no warm-up. The Oaks now have scored 3 in the 9th. This is the most chaotic game Conejo has been a part of this season, and they have to win to keep their chances at the 1 seed alive on the road. Noise at the stadium, the 1-2. Just low and away. What a pitch from Comerford, but it doesn't find the zone, and the count's 2-2.
Close, but not close enough. And if you're Comerford, you just got to put that behind you and go after Latshaw here.
2-2 with 2 outs and a runner on second. The pitch. Called strike 3! Comerford marches off in absolute calm after nailing the corner with a slider, and this game is still tied heading into the bottom of the 9th. What a pitch from the former third baseman turned pitcher in the biggest spot. The Blues need 1 to walk it off. The Oaks need to force extras with Jaden Valdez likely coming out. We'll see what happens after this. Don't go away. It's Oaks Baseball on YouTube. Three hours and 20 minutes of madness leads to this. The bottom of the 9th here at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Oaks and the Blues are tied at 11. Changes in the defensive field for the Oaks. Tyson Reese is at first. Danny Aguilera is at second. And now in right field for the first time all season, Zach Mora. That shows you what this game has come down to in unexpectedness.
And what a decision by Coach Solis to get Tyson Reese in there to pinch hit for Brandon Contreras, who hasn't particularly swung the bat too well tonight. Yeah, he got on a couple times, but in a time where a move was to be made, he made it big time.
Contreras also got hurt with a ball to the hand. First pitch to Diego Gonzalez is a strike on a fastball. The Blues could walk this game off, in which case they would increase their chances of getting first. If they lose today, they have to win out, and the Crawdads have to lose out to get first. If they win today, they're in the same spot where the Crawdads would have to lose their next game and the Blues would have to win to retake first, with everything coming down then to the final game of the season. The Oaks, meanwhile, need to win so that they can have a chance at first place, as the Riptide won today. If the Oaks lose, they're playing in the wild card. It's that simple. And
Diego Gonzalez has hit 1 home run this season, and it was against the Oaks.
Boy, what a shot that would be. He's a pull hitter to right, and it's 320 down the line. Jaden Valdez is warming up. We talked about during the break how the Oaks have to play for a 10th with this game tied, so that might mean saving Valdez and getting as much out of Latshaw as they can. He's thrown 24 pitches. The 0-1. Slider just outside for ball 1. It's 1-1. Dom Nahar is on deck. Gonzalez has a 2 RBI single today. 1-1 count with nobody out. Quiet at the stadium. Pitch from Latshaw. Up high for a ball. 1,500 plus are locked in. 3 hours and 22 minutes into this game at San Luis Obispo. The Oaks' first trip to San Luis Obispo this season in the regular season. Here is the 2-1. Swinging a high drive into right center. It's trouble and it's down. Mora, the new right fielder, tracks it. He throws it in. Throw to second. Tag is down. Close play and the runner's safe. A fist pump from Gonzalez, who gets a leadoff double in the bottom of the 9th.
What a start for the Blues in the bottom of the 9th here. Getting Gonzalez in scoring position right away. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a bunt attempt from Nahar to move Gonzalez over to third.
It's a good point. It's not a bad idea. You could get a walk-off sacrifice fly in position that way. Nahar is coming up, who has 2 singles and 2 RBIs today, one of which was on a ground out. He also struck out in the 7th. James Latshaw, with 27 pitches on 1 day of rest after throwing 38, is fighting for his life with the game tied at 11 in the bottom of the 9th. Nobody out and a runner on second. Latshaw looks and he fires. Bunt shown. It goes down first base side. Got to make the play. Reese tries to tag him. Runner gets by and the runner is safe. He missed the tag. What a turn. Miscommunication for the Oaks, and Reese, I think, thought he tagged him. Here comes David Solis, ready to argue about this one with the home plate umpire, and he looks hot.
What a huge play. I mean, regardless of whether Nahar is out or safe, he did his job. He moved Gonzalez over to third, and yeah, I don't know. I thought Reese might have barely clipped Nahar's jersey. Maybe it was wind friction.
Man, that is hard to tell, and there's no replay, so the only way we can tell is by if you scroll back on your YouTube if you're watching at home. Still a conversation. Tyson Reese thought he got the tag, and it was close, I can tell you that.
Very close.
Infield's in with nobody out, runners on the corners. Of course, that runner doesn't matter, but the critical first out was not achieved. Here's the top of the order. Cesar Chavez, 1 for 5 today. Runner goes, the pitch, high and away. A free stolen base for Nahar, who gets to second. And the Blues could be on the verge of walking this off. They just need one.
CJ Moran waits on deck should it reach him.
1-0 count. Chavez singled in the 7th. Infield in. The pitch to the leadoff man. Swinging a chopper. Play at the plate. Nagy loses the ball, and the game is over. The Blues walk it off on an error from Zach Nagy. And in a game where the Oaks were down by 7, San Luis Obispo gets the last laugh and clinches the Oaks out of first place.
Oh my goodness, what a game it was here at Sinsheimer Park. Both of these teams battling extremely hard. And in the end, it is the Blues who walk it off at their home field. Man, what an improbable ending. I mean, on that ground ball, it was a risk to send Gonzalez home, but Nagy just couldn't hang on to the ball. A little too much pressure in that situation, but what a job by both of these teams. The Oaks, when they looked like they were out of it, they made this one heck of an interesting ball game, and they battled back enough to tie the game in the 9th and set up a bottom of the 9th. But just fall a run short.
And whatever the results, the Oaks should be proud of how they played today. What a game it was. You come back from down 7. You get the game-tying double from Tyson Reese in the top of the 9th. James Latshaw toughed it out. He didn't pitch perfectly, but he was good enough. But then one double changed things. A bunt that nearly got out, and then a fumble at short. Zach Nagy with his second error of the day. And that is a tough situation to make a play like that. You're thinking a million thoughts at once, trying to throw the ball home. No shame in Nagy not scooping it up, but what an effort for the Oaks, who are now going to have to play in a wild card game, either against the MLB Academy Barons or the Arroyo Seco Saints. The Orange County Riptide have clinched first place in the CCL South. The Blues are still alive for first place in the CCL North, and they don't have to win out to get it necessarily. But man, what an effort for the Oaks, and they fell just short.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it. The Oaks absolutely should be proud of the way they played today. And, you know, it wasn't exactly the cleanest defensive showdown for either of these teams. The Oaks committed 4 errors, the Blues committed 3. There was a lot of luck that went both ways as well, and it's remarkable to think about the differences that the little things have made in this game. The Oaks punished the Blues for their mistakes, the Blues punished the Oaks for their mistakes, and the Blues are going to sleep happy, although I'm not sure there's going to be much sleep on either side tonight.
It's going to be a late trip back for the Oaks, about 3.5 hours at this game, and that's why we're going to wrap it up to catch this bus. Thank you for tuning in. What a game it was. The Oaks unfortunately fell just short. 12-11 final. Blues walk it off at Sinsheimer. The Oaks will be back on Sunday for the regular season finale against Philippines. Alongside Sammy Fawn, I'm Calvin Kaplan.